Hello bees, and welcome to this week's Indie Thursday stream. Hi Lynn, I hope you're doing well. I hope you're having a good day. Sorry for the delay in getting set up there. Windows decided that right as I started streaming was the best possible time to start installing something. So I spent several minutes waiting for for that to sort itself out, because when I'm running OBS, it tends to tank everything else on my computer, unfortunately. Not terribly, but enough to be noticeable. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad you're doing well. Yeah, I'm excited and also worried. Because I have... I've not even tried streaming or like test run the game because I wanted to go into it pretty much completely blind. I've read most of this manga a while ago, but it's been long enough that I can't remember a huge amount. The one bit that I do remember, and I remember it because the idea of it has scared me ever since I read, I'm not going to mention in case anybody watching hasn't read the manga or played the games or indeed see the anime and doesn't know the scene I'm referring to. If that scene doesn't show up, I will mention it because it is probably one of the scariest things that's ever happened to me, like that I've ever read of or seen or watched or any of those. It's a really terrifying idea. But let's just head straight in. Unfortunately, the game is in 4x3, and there is no way that I can make it not be in 4x3, but that's how it be. Anyway, let's start. As always, if things are too loud or too quiet, please give me a yell. In world, please just enjoy life in Hinamizawa to the fullest. Difficulty is extremely high, but I hope you will enjoy the reward. Whoa, that's bad. I have do not worry. Please do not lament. I will forgive you even if the world will not forgive you. Please do not lament. I will forgive you even if you do not forgive the world. So please tell me, what will it take for you to forgive me? I've been playing a lot of visual novel style games recently, so... Oh, scary. The early summer of the 58th year of the Showa era. I was going to be ripped apart anyways. Having my body ripped apart would have been far better. I trusted her. No, I still trust her. I remember what this is a reference now. Even in this very moment, I trust her. But I'm starting to realise I only wanted to trust her because I refused to accept the truth. It was as if I was trying to convince myself in such a silly sobbing voice. And those tears making a mess of my face. Turn it down a little bit for me as well. Mechanical repetitious sound finally stilled and everything fell silent. Only the cry of the cicadas remained, annoyingly loud. And yet, I felt as if I could still hear her voice. But that's not possible. She is no longer speaking. The only one crying is me. She never cried. Even when she repeated those words over and over, she never expressed any emotion, because there were none to show. If she had no tears to shed for me, then I shouldn't need to shed any for her. Then why, this pain, my eyes getting moist, why was this happening? Still wanted to believe I hadn't been split apart. That's enough, right? Inside me, an inner voice whispered gently. There's the repeating cicada track on repeat. My spirit had suffered enough, and countless times I'd wavered over whether I should just throw the battered thing away. Except, I've stubbornly refused to do that, haven't I? I feel better if I just threw it away. Even knowing that, I chose to believe, didn't I? Only I can understand that painful struggle and appreciate it. Hey, me? I've tried more than enough. I'll acknowledge that much. I'm gonna sneeze in a minute. So, Isn't it alright to just take the easy way out? Besides, I'm not throwing it away. I'm leaving it behind with her. Like flowers by a grave. Now then, now then, now then. Calm your nerves. Even though you can't feel your right arm. Just lift it up. And with every swing, forget a little more. That kindness made me happy. That adorable smile brought me joy. I liked petting your head. I loved how demure you were. Because this will be the last time. I keep cringing. What you're not seeing is that I'm cringing every time that sound effect goes. Because when I swing down, I'll forget. This is my first and last bouquet for you. Perhaps I really did love you. Okay. Welcome to Hinamizawa. Somebody has been apologising for a while now. I wonder which he's apologising for. Felt wrong to eavesdrop, so I tried to ignore it. It'd been a while since I last went to the city. I only returned to attend the funeral of a relative. Even though I'd lived there until last month, I found the bustle of the city to be overwhelming. The skyscrapers and the multi-lane roads, the melodious cacophony of the crosswalk, even the campaign speeches blaring in front of the station felt nostalgic. The place where I live now isn't nearly as lively. There's only the chirping of locusts and the babbling of rooks, and the cry of the Higurashi, the evening cicadas. Rather than making me feel lonely, that quietness has begun to instill a sense of serenity. There is nothing where I'm living now. I don't just mean there aren't any burger joints. There aren't even vending machines. No music stores, no restaurants, and no arcades. Even an ice cream parlour would be unlikely. The nearest town's some stuff like that, but it's an hour away by bike. Come to think of it, it wasn't really a big deal. There were music stores and arcades and ice cream parlours, but it wasn't like I ever hung out at any of them. I'd lived in the city for 10 years and never once been to an ice cream parlour. Should have gone at least once. It's only now that I'm starting to regret that a little. Somebody is still apologising. Who is she apologising to? She's apologised so much, so just forgive her already. No reason anyone should ever need to apologise so much. I started to feel a bit annoyed at whoever was refusing to forgive her. No matter how bad the mistake, there's nothing that can't be forgiven. There's no such thing as an irreparable mistake. You just need to be more careful next time. Wink wink. She's still apologising, even now. Then, has she really done something that can't be fixed? I've no idea what she's done, but if it can't be fixed, that's all the more reason to forgive her. No matter how much she apologises, nothing will change. But even so, she keeps apologising in such a heartbreaking voice. Hey you, the one she's apologising to? Why don't you just go ahead and forgive her? She's apologising in such a pathetic voice. Kate, you were almost there. Wake up. I was finally roused from my nap by my father's prodding. Hint, hint, hint. Lynn, I don't know how much you know about the story of these games. I have very dim memories, but seeing the train had reached its final stop. Whoops, wrong button there. Spent hours riding everything from the bullet train to the local routes. It's hard to believe that the landscape beyond the window in the city I was in half a day ago were in the same country. No, they were even from the same era. From there, we take a car deeper into the mountains. Past where the dense forest encroaching on the mountain road suddenly opened up. There, where I live now, Hinamizawa. This is when you have this moment of fear that you misspelt the name of the town in your stream title. Pretty much. I know next to nothing about Umineko other than the name and that it's also in a similar vein, like the sister series, as you said. So I don't know if this is more or less like horrific than they were approaching summer. The morning air still had a frigid bite, although in exchange you could fill your lungs up with crisp, clean air. The problem is there are so many long words that I don't know the spelling of that well because it's been so long. I was greeted with a verdant expanse. Also, I can't type. Nothing but trees. Neighbouring house was far away on the other side, so I was probably the only one enjoying that view and that air. filled my lungs with another deep breath. Since I started living in Hinamizawa, I learned that even air had its own taste. I learned that living in London. Suddenly we're playing Persona. I headed downstairs for breakfast. Mother was the only one there. Father was nowhere to be seen. He was probably up working until the early morning. Dad had a rather unconventional job as a painter. Such a laid-back profession. Get up when you want, sleep when you want, and work when you want. I was so jealous of that easygoing lifestyle. I even wrote for school that I wanted to be a painter when I grew up. Dad was ecstatic about that. It was just because it looked easy. I'd never tell him that, though. Mum laid breakfast out on the table. Seaweed, pickled vegetables, raw egg, and grilled salmon. Mum was such a good cook, it was scary. Perfect, immaculate, ideal breakfast. Unlike my dad, who didn't even know the meaning of the word schedule, my mum never squandered any time or effort. She hummed a little tune as she brought over the miso soup. Seemed like she was in a good mood today. I'm sorry if the sound is really loud all of a sudden, by the way. I had to turn it down on my headphones. If it is, let me know and I will put it down. Yes. Sort of. So happy you've been waking up early since we moved here, Keiichi. If I don't wake up early, I won't have time to eat breakfast. I thought I was being cute, responding with a wisecrack after being praised for being good. Full bowl of rice, or well happy enough? Piled it on. First, I savoured the steaming hot rice with the seaweed. After that, I covered it with the egg. Between bites of rice, I enjoyed the crunch. Not bad at all. Excellent, as usual. Watching me clean my plate, Mum gave me a warm smile. So happy you haven't skipped breakfast ever since we moved here, Keiichi. It was not a morning person when we lived in the city. I slept right until the last minute before school, and rarely ate breakfast. I eat breakfast at my desk at work, so... boycotting the breakfast Mum made me each morning was probably the only way I could protest being forced to attend grammar school. Guess that was what you call my rebellious phase. It wasn't so much as look at the breakfast she woke up early every day to make. If I could go back in time, I'd slap myself. Mindful of the time, Mum rushed me along with a wide grin. Isn't it about time to meet up with Reina-chan? Hurry! Mum really seemed to enjoy the fact that her son was going to school with a girl. Reina's one of my classmates. She really loves looking after people, coming to meet me every day without fail. The way I looked at it, a guy my age walking to school with a girl was just lame. But well, keeping a classmate waiting for me every day wouldn't be very considerate. Seriously though, how long does Reina wait there for me every morning? Taking one last gulp of soup, I raced for the door. I've heard, by the way, that this opening section is a bit slow, so I do apologise. Come to think of it, the pickles weren't store-bought, were they? If I'd known that, I would have saved them a bit more. Morning. Tweet. I hate these sprites, they are so bad. Keiichi, good morning. Her cheerful grin was as fresh as the morning itself. Yeah, that's better. I prefer these. You're always so early. You should try sleeping in sometime. If I sleep in, I'll keep you waiting. She's so conscientious and such a good person. If that ever happens, I'll just leave you behind. Keiichi-kun, you're so cold. I wait for you all the time. I'll leave you in the dust, without looking back. Why are you so mean? Why? Reina had a slightly troubled look on her face. Yeah, I saw a thing saying the original sprites were better, and I don't like that style, I have to say. I prefer this style. Chewing with her was rather fun, because of how quickly her mood changed. I'm kidding, I'd wait for you. With those words, Reina seemed to relax. Face flushed bright red. Hi, Ryujin! I hope you're doing well, I hope you're having a good day. Thank you. I'd wait forever until you came, Reina. No matter how long. Forever. Reina turned bright red, steam rising from her head as her brain short-circuited. Especially weak to this sort of talk. It's quite rare to find someone this fun to tease. Have you ever read a romance novel, Reina? I haven't. Never read any before. I'm good. Hoping that this will get out of the weird, bad dialogue soon. Interested in them, but too embarrassed to actually buy one. Couldn't imagine what would happen if she did read one. She'd probably turn red and pass out. Message from Mum. She says thanks for the pickles. It was nothing. You're welcome. How were they? Not too salty? They weren't that salty. Actually, they had a pretty light flavour to them. Would have been fine to just be honest and say with the good, but apparently I couldn't be that forthright. I'd like to ask something before that. Were you the one who pickled them, Reina? Or was it your mum? Huh? Why'd you ask? Were they too salty? Her attitude completely changed as she began to panic frantically. Was it you, Reina, or was it your mum? Why are you asking who made them? Why? Depending on who made them, my opinion of them might change drastically. Counter-fronting her fingers, trying to remember the amount of salt she used to pickle them. It wasn't like I was trying to tease her, but I couldn't stop myself. Guys who take pleasure in this kind of thing are probably the worst. Yep. Open and closed her mouth over and over, trying to muster a response. It was me. Delicious. But pretty good, just like the last ones. They went perfectly with the rice. My face went bright red again. She was completely spacing out. Truly was a lot of fun to tease her. Pray that Reina never gets taken advantage of by some lowlife. Keep at it, Reina. I'll train you until you handle it like the average person. Or so I decided for myself. Let's go. If you keep me on waiting, we'll never hear the end of it. Seeing as she just keeps spacing out otherwise, I called Reina back to reality so we could make our way to school. Strange, easily flustered girl is Reina Ryugu. I've only known her for about a month, but I've come to realise it's not just a name that's strange. Mii-chan, good morning. Coming up to the next rendezvous point, we saw another person waiting for us. Noticing us, she waved. I think I cosplayed either Mion or Shion once. Finally, you two were late. Usually you're the one who's late. Sharp contrast to the diligent Reina, this one marched to the beat of her own drum. She's Mion Sonozaki. For what it's worth, she's our senior and head of the class. And it's been a while, Kei-chan. How many years? I was only off 2 days. You don't say. You were so much cuter back then. Mion's gaze started at my chest, dropped straight down. I'm not reading that out loud. What you asked, just to be clear, never... Nope. You'd be surprised. Is he a little moustache now? I'm not reading this dialogue. I act like an old man sometimes. Bad. I'm not reading this dialogue out loud. Reina tried to play dumb. Obvious, she knew exactly what was happening. Seeing the city. How is it seeing the city again? Mion switched gears, dropping the dirty talk and changing to the topic to something more befitting the present morning. I only went for a funeral. I didn't have much time. So yeah, did you look for it? That thing I asked for? You're not listening at all. I just came back from a funeral. I didn't have any time to look around in toy stores. Tusk. Toy stores and hobby shops are completely different, you know. It's really difficult to get Western stuff around here after all. Is this about games again, Mii-chan? Mion nodded proudly as Reina giggled. Yeah. I mean, back at Westport catalogue, you see. Westport was short for Western Imported Games. Using that abbreviated did make it sound pretty geeky. You can just get them to send you one in the mail, can't you? Well, guess I have to now. I'm gonna get another game full of hot action. This time, I'd like a game that's easy to understand. Mion is a board and card game enthusiast, and I hear she's collected quite a lot of different ones. According to Reina, Mion's dream has kind of become a museum for domestic and foreign games. There's a game you think I understand? Let me play too. Of course. If Keiichi is up for it, I should warn you though, we're pretty tough. Just what I want. I play all sorts of games. I don't intend to lose. Whoa. Then we'll let you in the groove this time, I guess. Bristling with joy from head to toe, Reina looked back and forth between me and Mion. Mion gave her an affirmative wink, and her expression perked up even further. Thought boys preferred playing outside more, so I figured you wouldn't want to. Reina laughed happily. Such a friendly conversation, you wouldn't think I'd moved here less than a month ago. I understood that they did all they could to make a transfer student like me feel at home. Is that the new transfer student? I have to try harder to fit in, so they won't feel like they have to try to make me feel welcome. Felt as if I acted a bit more open than I usually am. It should be just about right for this place. Yeah, Lynn, I know the feeling. Sometimes you just gotta... I don't know. I can't think of the way to word what I want to say. But there was only one class. The class encompasses all different grades and ages. There are about 30 students at different levels, and they all study in the same class. Told that long ago there used to be a bigger school building, and they had actual separate classes. Seems something happened that made it become a single class, and now it stayed that way out of tradition. And we're shocked at first, but humans adapt pretty quickly. I've already gotten quite used to it. Sound of children playing started right from the morning. Such a lively mood, it felt more like a kindergarten than a proper school. Not that that was a bad thing. Neon, who'd been walking in front of us up until then, suddenly let me take the lead, right in front of the classroom door. So, I was meant to slide the door open and enter the room first. Too bad, I wasn't going to fall for that again. To think you'd give up the lead here. You meant for this to be a test of my skills. Neon chuckled with a haughty smirk on her face. What is it, guys? Step back, Reina. It's dangerous. She's here. Huh? And then Stoko-chan is... Her name was Stoko Hojo. She was a disrespectful, impudent, bossy kid. way she talks was annoying, but it'd be immature to get worked up over just that. The real problem was this. Quite the obvious trap. A black border racer wedged in the door. It's too obvious. Satoko? A haughty laugh came from beyond the door. Excellent, Keiichi. Guess that means you win this round? No, this is Satoko we're talking about. I doubt this is it. Falling for such intricate traps since the day I transferred, I no longer let my guard down. Satoko liked to combine a variety of traps. Some that were there to bait you into the main one, ones that relentlessly kept coming at you like a sadistic Rube Goldberg machine. The list goes on. As well as being clever, they almost never misfire. When you least expect it, she strikes. No escape, no time to relax. By the looks of it, this eraser is normal. No rocks or anything in it. Took a pretty heavy hit from a blackboard eraser loaded with rocks on my first day. So then why don't you just open the door and let it drop? That's what it is. That's what Satoko was after. Making me focus my attention upward. So as I lifted my hand to the door, there were thumbtacks stuck to the sliding door handle with tape. A frightening trap. Potent and terrifying trap. Concealed by using the blackboard eraser. An impressive combination, Satoko, but in the end, nothing more than trivial machinations of a child. Short of my victory, I threw the door open and stepped into the room. Felt something strange at my ankle, similar to the sensation of a dunce rope capturing on my leg. Time realised she had me. Hook, line and sinker. It was already too late. Began to fall in an almost picturesque manner. Watch out! Soon could be reacting to neons for a warning. Twisted my body before I landed on the floor. Ow! The ink stone filled to the rim was placed right where I would have landed. Shuddered, imagining the situation had I landed square on it. What do we have here? Fair morning to you, Keiichi. Aren't we a lively one this morning? Still sprawled in an awkward position, I was greeted by a mocking voice. So step up from usual, straps, Satoko. I haven't the faintest idea what you mean. You were quite unlucky this morning. Little... Ow. Seemed to have inadvertently sprained my back when I landed, better than landing on that inkstone. I mean, I hurt my back by moving, so... Pain, go away. Small dirty hand continued to gently stroke my head. You didn't sprain your back or anything, did you? If you rub it like this, the pain disappears. Thought about asking how rubbing my head would help my back, but I didn't. It's not so much about what you actually do, it's the thought that counts. Exactly. Thanks, Rika-chan. The pain is going away now. I'm probably going to leave a lot of the honorifics off, because it feels weird coming from my mouth. Yay, Rika. Good morning. Good morning to you, Reina. A good morning to all. Rika greeted each of us with an adorable little bow. It's infectious. Reina, Mion and I all bowed back. Such a good kid, Rika. So much better than Satoko. Led over in her direction. Satoko was whistling while deliberately trying to avoid eye contact. Very model of a good girl. Wouldn't set those nasty traps. Nothing but lies and slander. Exactly what proof? Ah! Picked up Satoko by the back of her collar. She looked like a misbehaved cat when I do this, but a cat wouldn't be setting traps. She's much harder to deal with. I'm sorry. Try saying that. Even if you won't say it. Cock my index finger on my thumb, letting it tremble as I brought it closer to Satoko's forehead. I'm against violence. You don't even have any proof. Just so you know, my forehead flick really hurts. I can split plywood right in half. Stop. Get away from me, you beast. Don't say that in a way people will misunderstand. A small hand tugged on the back of my shirt. She's been lonely since you were gone for 2 days. Rika really is just so... How could I do anything more after being told that? Gently released my grip on Satoko, who at this point was on the verge of tears. She still had her eyes cut shut, but she braced herself for the forehead flick. It doesn't bother me. You mustn't cry, Satoko. Keep on fighting, yeah? Rika gently patted the head of her prankster friend. Never guessed those two at the same age. I think Satoko could learn a thing or a million from Rika. Next time, set an even more amazing trap. Wait a minute. She observed the scene, Raina's expression grew excited. She began to swoon. Satoko was crying. So cute. Can't take them home. But they're so cute. You can't, no matter how cute they are. Just for a bit, it's fine. Reina kept a cutesy face, even as I righteous ideas through my mouth. According to Mion, Reina's ridiculously weak to cute things, and always tries to take them home. Object or person. Stealing is bad, but abducting people is even worse. Give it up. Then I can just look. Just looking. That should be fine, right? Sweet over Satoko's crying form. Gulliver is missing in Hinamizawa. I'll be forced to turn Reina into the authorities. Forgive me, Reina. Be sure to bring you care packages when they put you away. Teacher's coming. Quickly, clean everything up. Stoko, that inkstone is yours, right? Just from me on single statement, the entire room, the mood of the room shifted back to normal. Inkstone was bad, but the thumbtack stuck to the door handle were even bigger problem. Pulled the tape off carefully, making sure not to skewer myself. Even though Stoko was the one who set it up, everyone had to pick up after. By the time the teacher entered the room, the bedlam before had been neatly tidied up. We made it in time. Rise, attention. Mion gave out the warning commands. It's difficult being the teacher of all these different grades in one classroom. She has to teach something different to each one. Naturally, she ends up spending all her time with the younger kids. Reina and Mion, being on the highest grade in the class, mostly end up doing self-study, even end up helping teach the younger kids, so it seems they can never get to their own studies. I'm actually way behind where my studies have progressed to. As a result, I'm pretty much taking over for the teacher and helping Rion and Mina with their studies. Pretty good teacher, Keiichi. Easy to understand. Reina took a breath after finishing highlighting an important section. Teaching is making me lose confidence. Makes me aware of how shallow my understanding of the subject is. They say that to teach someone something, you need to understand it backwards and forwards. So while you're teaching us, you're getting in your own practice. In contrast, this person over here is quite laissez-faire about things. For one, isn't she supposed to be in a higher grade than me? Look, Neon, this is for your own good. If you don't take this seriously, there'll be trouble later on. With these marks. It's not like I'm aiming to go on to a prestigious university. Be fine as long as I pick up what I need to know for the entrance exams a little at a time. Staunch defiance was really something else. This was a different type of relax than somebody who already knew what was going to be on the entrance exams. Mion, Keiichi is doing his best to teach us. You need to try hard too. Such a good and honest kid, Reina. And make sure you guys get accepted into a good school. Thanks so much. Especially you, Reina. Private lessons? Just the two of us? Private lessons? Puff of smoke shaped like a halo. What kind of private lessons are you fantasizing about that's making it turn so red? I'd like to hear the play-by-play about that next time. While Mion was flipping through her vocab flashcards to out a casual question. So, in the city, do you have to study this much? We don't know at least this much, you can't get into university. So you study just to get into a university? Well, yeah, basically. While knowing that this stuff won't ever come in handy in the future. It's how it be in the... Out here, you can get into university as long as your attendance is good enough. Really? Study equals entrance exams. Having that basic law of the universe so easily overturned sent me into a state of shock. Out here, study equals exams and also personal statement, which is hell on earth. If you think writing a CV is bad, try writing a personal statement. Aren't people enough here to warrant reading them out with an exam? Anyone getting to university, there's no need to be all tight about this stuff, right? Well, that's true, but you should at least know stuff that's common knowledge. Full Geezer thinks that instead of wasting time studying pointlessly, you should be spending those precious teen years doing more meaningful things. It's too profound of a statement to simply laugh off, but since it was Mion, it probably didn't actually have that deep of a meaning. Place of chime, sound of principal waving a handbell drifted through the classroom. Keiichi, we're done, we're done! It's our wonderful lunchtime. Complete 180 from her motivated state, Mion gave the commands to signal the end of warning period. I too am always excited for lunch. Might have been making a very troubled face. Reina smiled brightly at me. Alright, let's eat. Seemed to be a different cliques, even within this class. Most of them were divided up by gender and age, but our group was different. Rages were different and we had both boys and girls. We weren't reserved around each other. This level of openness makes a transfer student like me pretty happy. Reina and Mion pushed their desks together so they were facing each other. At the same time, Stoko and Rika-chan were slowly lugging their desks over as well. Keiichi, hurry, hurry! Reina waved her chopsticks in an unrefined manner, trying to hurry me along. Unless everyone was together, they wouldn't even open their lunchboxes. Keiichi's lunchbox is most assuredly filled with nothing but bread crust like some sort of destitute plebeian. Why don't you just show it to us? Come now. And this Stoko was hurling insults. She still wouldn't open the lid to her lunchbox until I was there. I pulled out my lunchbox swiftly and dragged my chair over to join the circle. Sorry to keep you waiting. Well then. Representative Mion, please get the signal to start. First, this was kind of embarrassing, but I got used to it pretty fast. At this point, I probably wouldn't even open my own lunchbox if someone else was too slow. Rages and gentles may have been different, but we were all friends. Let's eat. Sound of a little 5-part chorus echoed beautifully through the classroom. Really though, I've gotten pretty used to this group made up of all girls. Of course there are other boys in the class, but they were a lot younger, so they were scared to approach me. Well, that's to be expected. Younger boys, just the older boys, are scary. Compare that to girls, well, at least these girls aren't picky. When I was a young child, I found everyone older than me terrifying. And then the instant I got to their age, I was like, who are these literal children that are in my school? But walked aside just in the middle where everybody was free to pick at them. Thought girls would mind sharing a meal with the guy, so I was a bit flustered joining in. Mio noticed that and teased me quite a bit. As a fruit of my efforts, I can now reach over and take sides from anyone's lunch. Isn't Keiichi's lunch extravagant today? Isn't Madame Stoko's lunch extravagant as well? Stew stuff has a nice look to it, rather trendy. Buying into the fight that Stoko was starting, our chopsticks locked the cross counter, stabbing into each other's lunch. Why, how delicious. Oh, this taro was good. Stew stuff was good too, even cold. Seeing my happy face, Rika's expression broke into a little smile. Saved some from dinner last night. Stoko and Rika's lunch is always the same. Seems that Rika makes it for both of them every day. Rika made this too? This tastes like Mom's home cooking. I was honestly impressed. Carrot rosettes went from the mould. They were done by hand with a knife. It's not easy to do. Guess Rika's just good at this sort of thing. She's really good at sewing, laundry, and stuff like that. Amazing, right? Amazing. I can do 2 of those things. I can't really cook. Rika is quite exceptional in many ways. It's nothing for you to boast about. Reina's actually better at cooking than I am. Well, you know, I assume that the topic of conversation switched to Reina when she wasn't expecting it, making her blush trip over her words. Reina's lunch really was the star of the table. Only did it look good, it tasted good. Everyone else pulled from Reina's lunchbox constantly. Lunchbox. Everyone liked this one so much before, so I made a lot this time. It's good, I hope. It's got high marks from me. Mion, you're taking too much. Knocking Mion's chopsticks aside, I reached out and tried to secure my own portion. Stoko and Rika reached over at the same time. A struggle ensued. Everyone shoveled in mouthful after mouthful while praising it, and Reina's lunchbox was soon empty. It's kind of bad that no one thought to leave any for Reina, but she seemed rather satisfied as she looked on. How'd you like it? Isn't Reina an extremely good cook too? Quite different from Keiichi-san. Said that's nothing for you to boast about. You're not much different from Keiichi-san, Stoko. Can you tell the difference between broccoli and cauliflower yet? No. One of those I like and the other is vile. Stoko's face looked pale. If I can tell the difference between broccoli and cauliflower, you know? Of course I can. I really can. It's really hard for her to lie. Keiichi, both taste good when they're boiled and topped with mayo, right? You shouldn't be picking on her. Mi-chan too. Lona hurriedly tried to follow up, but Mion laughed haughtily as she drew close to Stoko. Well, just pretend it's a little home ec lesson. Stoko? What's this? Well, Mion lifted up her chopsticks. Between them was a piece of green stuff wrapped in bacon. But that's asparagus. Mion made eye contact with me. Within 3 seconds, I had Rika's mouth covered. Holding a piece of bacon wrapped asparagus and giving her 2 choices. She's pretty terrible. The other one is cauliflower. No, wait, the green one is cauliflower. So which, huh? Probably the yellow one is broccoli and the blue one is cauliflower. The green one is, Do you really know which is which? How about you just give up? I expect no less from the class representative. Oldest. The way she drives people into a corner just shows how much experience she has. It's just a hunch, but being brought into the Sonozaki household must be quite an ideal. I do know. I really do. Then answer the question. I know. She finally broke down and started crying. When she acts like this, she usually starts to seem her age. I like the implication that there are, like, people from ages 5 to 18 in this one room. I suppose there probably are, actually. Reina's in a state of bliss. She rubbed her cheek against Stoko's head. Really, very content face. Wouldn't care if the world ended right then. It was that kind of smile. Reina, you're just picking me on me. Cute. It's okay, Reina. It's okay. Reina will take care of those people who chase my little sister. Squish, brief, bam. It's like a flash of lightning. What was that just now? Both of Reina's fish shot out at supersonic speeds, striking Mion and me squarely in our faces. This is the first time you've gotten one, right? Today, she went easy on us. Easy? You mean there's something harder than this? That, Mion and I both tucked our head back to the floor in unison. From now on, I'll be careful when I'm within striking distance of Reina. See, Stoko? I took care of them. Cute. I want to take you home. I'm sure Reina couldn't see it. Stoko stuck her tongue out at us. Damn it all. Using Reina like a puppet. Rika massaged our bruises without saying a word. I wonder what the day had held. The last school bell always came too soon. Shadow stretched off into the distance. That's the first and last time anyone has ever said the last school bell always came too soon. Hey, Keiichi, tomorrow, do you have plans or anything? Or anything? Such a direct question from Reina. I inadvertently blushed. If it was for a date, then wouldn't you do it more subtly? Raina saw me lost words and realised I misunderstood and turned red as well. No, I didn't mean it like that, you see. Apparently that wasn't what she meant. Since it's always fun when Raina's in a panic, I went along with it a little. So it wasn't meant that way. Huh? Playing it up, I slapped my shoulders, feigning direction. Keiichi, why are you so disappointed? Mion. Unable to hold it in any longer, Mion slapped me on the back. See, Sulgiza never knew you could push up buttons like that. Wah ha 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 ha. I know. I have to say I much prefer these sprites. Rolling on the floor, clutching her stomach when Raina failed around, completely bewildered. Couldn't help but start laughing as well. Feeling just a bit guilty, I ruffled Raina's hair. Kidding, sorry it was a joke. That was my fault. She really is a cute one. Joke? Since when? Since when? About halfway through? Halfway? So, Keiichi, it means you weren't acting when you blushed at the start. That means it's only a momentary lapse, but there was no way Mion would let such a delectable detail slip by her. Well, you see, saying anything more was also a bad idea. My will to slay, I stepped further into an unfavourable position. After that, Mion continued to tease me about it for a while. So why were you asking if I'm free tomorrow, Raina? Oh, what were we talking about? It's been so long that Raina had forgotten. That's how long Mion had teased me. It's just, Keiichi, you probably can't find your way around Hinamizawa by yourself yet, can you? This was true. Hate to say it, but if you blindfolded me and spun me around 3 times like we're playing pin the tail on the donkey, wouldn't be able to tell up from down here. I don't think I know how to get anywhere besides back and forth from school. So, tomorrow we're thinking that Mion and I could escort you through Hinamizawa and show you around. Be a godsend. Frankly, I was happy about the offer. You'll come, of course, right? If I'm free. You're being invited by a girl, you know? If I'm free. You're probably free anyways. If I'm free. Was being stubborn so as not to give a clear yes or no. Even though I thought it was a godsend, I'm too much of a scamp to say so up front. Keiichi, you're not free perhaps? Well, Mion and I had a rather sour back and forth. Fiona peeked over at me hesitantly. Figuring I'd been a bit too rough on her, I just gave in. Sorry, forgive me. I apologise. I'm free. Great! Trepidation disappeared from Raina's face as it blossomed into a smile. Hey now. Seems like there's quite a difference between how cold you are to me compared to Raina, isn't there? Seems Mion didn't care for how rude I was to her, compared to how quickly I agreed with Raina, but her being annoyed was very interesting. So I pushed Raina forward, speeding up her pace to leave Mion behind. Let's go, Raina. Maybe it should just be the 2 of us tomorrow, leave grumpy old Mion behind. From what I remember of the manga, Mion was one of my favourite characters. Well, if Keiichi's okay with that. I'm the one who came up with an idea to take him around. Don't ignore me, Keiichi Mebara. It'd be great if the 2 of us could go on a picnic together. Should we bring a basket, Raina? Bring a basket. I'll make all the food, maybe. Don't you ignore me too, Raina. Tell everyone that you 2 disappeared in the hotel district together. Well then, I'm going home right now to start making it. Tomorrow's gonna be so fun. Later, Keiichi, Mion. Bye. Raina bounded off like she was walking on the moon. To the dust article that was left with me standing next to Mion sprawled out on the ground. There was a welt on her face. You all right? It's over 2 meters between you guys. Since you came, they've become sharper. Sulgiza's body can't handle it. Maybe easier if you stop saying stuff that makes Raina want to hit you. Or else this will end up being Mion's slapstick comedy hour. It already is. The results might be fatal. Don't feel bad, Mion. You're probably the only one who can dodge her jabs. Felt like it was her knee, though. Could it be that we were hanging around with an unrivaled martial arts master? Maybe someday we'll see her debut in an extreme contact sport. Can't lose to Raina. You need to train up and have a rematch. Keiichi should... This old geezer will root for you. Mion and I reaffirmed our determination to discover a way to counter Ranger's infallible technique. You're right, Lynn. I really do need more water. I'm drinking a soda because I was absolutely exhausted when I got home. Next grade, we don't have a uniform. Spooky music here. Yeah, that makes sense. Took a little too easy on the morning of my day off. I was totally late. Today was the day Raina and Mion were going to show me around Hinamizawa. Raina and Mion were already waiting at the meeting place. I recognise this outfit. This outfit's pretty iconic for Reina. Oh, that's so sensible. That's what I should have done beforehand. I did a workout about half an hour before stream, and by the time I sat down, I was still too warm to make any tea. But I really should have done that. I feel like I should be used to it with the amount of reading that I've been doing for indie games recently, but at the same time, after this I'll have to swap to something that's either like no dialogue or like fully voiced, just to give my voice a bit of a rest. Keiichi, you're late. Sorry. The show I was watching last night was really interesting. Blame that. So that's your excuse for being late and keeping two girls waiting? Leon, you just got here yourself. Last night's episode of A Day of the Life of was interesting, wasn't it? She was just as guilty as me. Reina was carrying a pretty heavy-looking handbag. What is that? Leon answered my unspoken question with a wink. That's right, Reina really did make a picnic. Keiichi, after you left, Reina pulled out all the stops. It's not like I forced her to do it. It was nothing, so don't worry about it, okay? She's been like this since last night, you know? Can you take responsibility for this? Alright, I am man after all. I'll take responsibility. Responsibility for what? We both turned around slowly to look at Reina. Our gazes drifted down to the massive bag she was carrying. It didn't seem logically feasible they'd be entirely filled with lunchboxes. Except this was Reina we were talking about here. About 2 kilos, I guess? When Reina was picking it up, I can see she was struggling a bit. I say 5. 2 is not that heavy. You're exaggerating. Keiichi is a boy after all. Thought he could probably eat a lot, so I made a lot, okay? Let's get going. Heave-ho. Just from the way she was lifting up, I couldn't believe the only things in there were lunchboxes. Correction, I say 5 kilos too. That is heavier. Help out, but all of it needs to be eaten. I won't forgive you if you make Reina sad, got it? Only thing I could do at that moment was exercise a bit to make myself hungrier. So here's the thing, I'm not actually sure how many chapters are in this game, but I have heard that the first 5 chapters are a bit slow and then it starts to get more into like the meat of things, probably about halfway through. So forgive me if maybe this stream and the next stream are a bit slower than usual, but we shall see. We began a leisurely stroll. Carefree walk, bathed in the gentle morning sunlight. I couldn't even imagine something so wholesome existing during my time in the city. These were the boonies after all. No suddenly desk jockeys trotting to work on the weekends out here. It really was a nice place, peaceful and quiet. What sort of— I was about to say the phrase, what sort of office job makes you work on the weekends? And then I was like, A, many, and B, this is Japan we're talking about, so I presume there are many office jobs you do have to work on the weekend. I don't get paid overtime, so I work from 8:30 to 5, no more, and sometimes less, depending on how I feel. But I will work like an extra 2 or 3 minutes if I have work to finish, but I don't get paid to work anymore, and we don't get to claim overtime, so I don't work extra. Yeah. The thing is, so I'm playing this game, I've put this as blind playthrough, because I am playing this almost blind. It's really just like, what can I remember from the manga? And I never finished the manga because I think it was like chapter 8, or the 8th game rather, I think that was being translated, and I like fell off during the translation of that, so when I go into the last game, which will hopefully come out this summer, it will be 210% blind, because I've never played the game, obviously, but I'll also have never read the manga, so although this is making me really want to read it again because of how good the manga was, I really hope that the really scary thing that I remember from it is mentioned in this game. Sparsely populated as the village was, you could still run into people just by walking around. Ah, good day. Good day. Oh, you would be Maibara, I believe. My 2 companions exchanged greetings with everybody we ran across. All these passers-by even know my name. When did I become this famous? Passed through people, and when all 3 of them knew me, I started to feel a bit paranoid. It's a bit sad to say. Everyone knows everyone since there are so few people here in Hinamizawa. So that means when an unfamiliar face walks by, they automatically assume it's that Maibara fella who just moved here. Yeah, that's how it works out. It was a process of elimination you could only pull off in a place like this, but it was quite effective. From now on, better make sure to maintain a good reputation. Dame discovered accidentally gawking at a dirty magazine in the bookstore, and expect all the villagers labelling me as a lech by the next day. Hinamizawa is not to be trifled with. How prophetic that sentence will turn out to be. It's not the end of this nightmare. Of course, I know them. The first person we met was old man Takazo from the Makino bike shop. His hobbies are bonsai and playing the flute. Next, we meet the grocer's second son, Daisuke. His hobby is sharpshooting, and he hopes to be an ace sniper in the future. The person we just met was Mia, the nurse from the clinic. Hobbies are birdwatching and photography. We know the names of everyone we pass by, and even their profiles. Seeing my surprise, Mion and Reina exchanged looks and burst into laughter. Well, yeah, not like the city where people hardly know their neighbours. Then let's try it out. You there, who am I? You're Keiichi Maibara. You say some mean things, but you're actually a kind, shy person. It's been 3 weeks since you transferred here. Your hobby is taking afternoon naps. Lately you switched over to wearing boxers, didn't you? It's enough, that's enough. Boxers. Enough of that. Apparently there's absolutely nothing you can keep hidden here. Hinamizawa was not a place to be trifled with. This place looks like it'd be really nice to show me off rather than showing me around. Really nice to have a good holiday here. That's right. We're parading around like this after all. Don't you all think so too? That Keiichi is fitting right in here in Hinamizawa? Population in Hinamizawa is shrinking, so the villagers welcome anybody who's new here. Thought about brushing it off with something to the effect of, you're kidding, but I held back. Did I ever greeted someone who just moved into the city like this before? Thinking about that made me believe what they said wasn't a joke after all. Past another person. Of course we were called out to again in the same way. Oh my, good day. It's wonderful seeing you getting along. This lady here is Fujushima. Good day. Oh my Bara, how wonderful for you having a lovely girl on your arm. How are you? Getting used to life here? Instead of regurgitating a prepared response like I would have in a city, responded with emphatic nod. The old woman chuckled, voicing her appreciation of how energetic I was. Good. So I looked back over to Reina and Mion. They gave me a wink. So, now then, about time to have lunch maybe? Reina's brilliant smile signalled the approach of an event that both Mion and I were trying to forget. Both looked at each other. I'm a man, I'll do what I can, but it's just too much. It's fine, Keiichi. Leave it to this old man. Mion has never seemed as reliable as she does right now. I expect no less from the class representative. Reina, if we're gonna eat, we might as well go somewhere with a good view. Yes. Good idea, I agree. Reina nodded her head happily in response to Mion's proposal. I'm trying to think of a horror comic that I read. Set similar. It wasn't Higurashi, but it was set somewhere very similar to here. I think it was a translation of a Japanese manga, or it could have been a comic in that style. And the only thing that I can remember about it is that there was something to do with a rock in a very distinctive style. There's a very good chance this is a Higurashi reference and it's just, like, cut out of my brain. Cresting the top of the stone stairway, a shrine drawn straight out of my imagination appeared before us. Worn down a bit through the years, but the fallen leaves have been swept up, giving it a tidy feeling. This here is the Furure Shrine. It's probably the place with the best view around. This place. Be sure to remember it. On our next break, a festival will be held here. Isn't it a bit too early in the season for a festival? Onikakushi, hint, isn't a summer festival. Long ago, it used to be a celebration of the end of winter. I was embarrassed for assuming that festivals had to be held in the summer. Now then, spread out the lunch boxes, and there, various coloured lunch boxes were placed one after the other on top of the plastic sheet. Sure did smell delicious. It was Raina's home cooking. Went without saying it would be delicious. But is it even possible to finish all of this? Hey, Mion, it'll take just a good view to get all this down, you know? Good afternoon. With Rika and Satoko. Why are they here? Mion grinned over at me. See, this was a secret plan. To power in numbers. You have my thanks, Mion. Following up when all the pieces are in place is my specialty. We just had to come since there was such a commotion. What is the meaning of this? Take a look. It's time for lunch. Buffet style. Handmade gourmet meal by Reina. Can see that much. Why have you laid out a tarp on our property? Temple is public grounds. It's not yours. Keiichi is right. This is everyone's property. Rika's such a good girl. Have a seat. Eat with us. After opening up a spot for Rika, I promptly turned my back on Satoko. Hold on 1 second. Where's my spot? No spot for you and nothing for you to eat. Don't worry, there's some for you too. None. I'll eat all of hers. Won't allow it. Rika! Here, chopsticks. Both Toko and I leapt at the boxes, having it out with each other. Man, really. Keiichi, you're good at leading people on. You might have a talent for this. Have a plate. One for me, Mion, and one for Rika too. Reina whipped out pairs of chopsticks and paper plates. Disposable plates. If we don't hurry, it'll all be eaten up. That's right. Okay, should we commence this battle? Please eat a lot. There's enough for everyone, Reina said as she opened up a thermos. Just then, I realised that this lunch was made under the assumption that 5 people would be eating. Didn't change how much there was, but the implication behind it was different. Will not allow you to have this hamburger. Using your elbows against the rules, Stoker. Grabbing the back of my collar is also against the rules. It's a tough battle, blocking with a full momentum and an elbow in the opening moves. Stoker appeared to have the upper hand. Difference in our proficiency with chopsticks proved to be fatal and gave me the upper hand. Last meat roll. Stoker Hojo has been bested. Stoker and I amiably began choking at the same time, falling backwards and spasming. Rika patted me on the head to clear it, even though it was actually stuck in my throat. Seeing that made Reina blush and breathe heavily in excitement. It's almost like flowers were floating all around her. Leon advised Reina to refrain from saying anything that could get her locked up. This is how our meals usually go. Do anything in my power, just so things could stay like this. Hint, 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 hint. This intense battle calmed, and finally everyone reached a point where they could begin talking. Receiving tea from the thermos, I let out a small sigh. Do you wonder why there's so few words in Japanese to praise how something tastes? Isn't it because the idea of togetherness during a meal didn't begin until the modern era? It seems that long ago people ate in silence. Must have made the people preparing the food a bit sad, don't you think? It's probably because back then the people were busy even while eating and didn't have the time to compliment the flavour. That's just you. But you know, just hearing that it's good makes me happy. That my effort was worth it, I mean. I don't like talking when I'm eating, but that's because I don't like talking in general. She blushed a little after she said that. I should wash this jumper. It was delicious. With absolutely perfect timing, Rika struck directly with praise. She looked straight at her with an expression of bewitching innocence. I threw in a ring of smoke rose from my head with an audible puff. Rika, I'm gonna take you home. No, I mean, thank you. It was really delicious. Reina flushed red with excitement, embracing Rika and rubbing her cheek against her so hard you could almost hear it. To reward Rika for her praise, ta-da! These are special. 2 apple rabbits. After sticking toothpicks into them, she thrust them towards Rika. After Rika accepted them, the mood suddenly shifted in a bizarre way. What is it, Stoko? What's with that defiant look? Is everyone prepared for proper praise to receive apples from Reina-san? Don't push yourself. What kind of praise can you think up with your weak vocab? Well then, allow me to show you. After Stoko flashed me on an eye a defiant look, she changed the tone of her voice suddenly. Hey, so Reina, it's lunch? Stoko thought it was yummy too. Stoko looked up at her poutily while talking cutesy. Well, how is that praise? It's not even persuasion by tears, it's persuasion by cuteness, isn't it? This is a Reina limited special skill. She blushed and her head spun, waving around in circles. Don't fall for it, Reina. I do love these expressions, this is so cute. It's asking the impossible. Reina glomped Stoko and began rubbing her cheek against her. Cute! Stoko's so cute! Take home. Swish. Stab. Push! Stoko was also presented with apple rabbits. Stuffing them into her mouth, she looked over at Mion and I again with that defiant gaze. Took only 5 seconds to take down Reina. That's unfair. I think she had such a trick. What upsets you so much? Why not reward Reina with some praise? Damn it. That was a dirty trick. First of all, it wasn't even praise. Stoko, you think you've won with that, don't you? How about I show you guys something much better than your superficial gimmicks? Sounds great, Leon. What kind of trick is it? Okay, she's gonna be the one who does it. What? Why don't I have you show me then? The writhing Renault made. The plan of attack she suggested was wicked, but it was the only thing we had to beat Stoko. Sipping my tea, I started talking very naturally and calmly. Perfectly. Really is good, isn't it? It's all freshly made, right? No, actually, most all of it was frozen stuff. Then which ones would you make fresh? Well, it's embarrassing. Do I really have to say? Must I? Sinji, a boy plus handmade lunchbox, her expression it melted into for euphoria. I already know. This one, right? Reina turned an even deeper shade of red. The words, I can't believe it, practically written on her face. How can you tell? How, But I made it. Of course, Mion told me beforehand. It's been perfect so far. After acting like I was shy, I waited a bit. Next would be the finisher. It had your smell. Silence enveloped the area. Raina, face still completely red, froze solid. With a small yelp, Stoker also blushed. Of course I did too. Sure would like to try one of Raina's handmade apple rabbits. Or something. Even if it was all because I was competing against Toko, I felt like I crossed the line by a good 9 yards, I think. Then, at that moment, a Tupperware container filled with rabbits. Please eat some, Keiichi. There's plenty for you. Instantly, dozens of the apples were shoved into my mouth. Keiichi, head was forcibly laid upon a lap, and even more apples shoved into my mouth. Apples, Toko, look like we win. Keiichi, that was a beautiful sacrifice. How's that, Stoker? This is our complete victory, isn't it? I can't believe it. Such trickery. It doesn't bother me at all. Stoker ground her teeth, mortified. We did it. I claimed victory as my consciousness drifted slowly away from me. At that time, Raina stopped squealing and she suddenly realised something. Rika, you're not eating it? Did the salt water make it too strong, maybe? Looking over, Rika had pulled the toothpick out the apple rabbit, placed it into her cupped hands, and seemed to be at a loss for what to do. This rabbit, I feel sorry for him. I want to save him. This I'm take you home. Slipped sporadically, head wobbling back and forth. Apples, packs them back on a plate. Now the raw just fine, okay? Here, I'll give them to you, Rika, okay? Rika raised up Stoker's hand like a referee after having that plate of rabbit shoved to her. She whispered, "It's our victory." What? Come back! I just don't care anymore. Thus, my sacrifice ended up being in vain. F. Big F. It's a fun-filled, crazy day. But as soon as the sun began to set, the end of the day really did come quickly. Later, Rain and Keiichi. See you tomorrow. Thanks for today, Mion. I had a great time. See you tomorrow. Soko and Rika went home as well. We parted ways with Mion and it ended with just Raina and myself enjoying the evening air on our way home. Thanks for coming today, Keiichi. Was it fun? Yeah. Lots of fun. Almost feels like a waste to go home now. Then, well, would you mind taking a little detour, maybe? A detour? Is it far? It's a bit of a walk, but it won't take long. Since we've been walking around all day, I must have seemed a bit tired. Not feeling like teasing Raina, I quietly nodded. Passing a small path and up a small hill, the land suddenly stretched out before us. There, it looked like the remains of a dilapidated construction site came into view. A large heap of garbage spread out off towards the swamp. It's my home. Probably illegal dumping. I recalled it being in the newspaper. It's been quite a while. I wonder what's here, I wonder what's here. If you say it's been a while, do you mean the business you had here was with this garbage pile? It's not garbage. To me, it's a pile of treasure. Rin had already entered that well-known cute mood of hers, so that meant there was something cute here? Whoa, a new pile. Can't wait! She bounded up the unstable slope. I'd expect no less from a born-and-bred country girl. Wait, I'm coming. Whoa. My city-way self was completely hiccupy. It's right, just stay right there, Keiichi. It won't take long. Raina kindly declined my accompaniment. Hiccups. Don't fall. Watch your step. I'm fine. This is nothing at all. Whoa. Little hiccups all the time now. Literally banding up the heap of trash, Raina disappeared over the other side. Didn't like being left behind, but I was still pretty tired from the whole day, so I just ended up waiting. Without the lively Raina around, the surrounding area quickly fell into silence. The cry of the Higurashi gently cooled the air. Fairly exhausted, I began to feel a little sleepy. Just then, the sudden noise of scattering pebbles alerted me to somebody's presence. Startled, I turned around. Standing there was a typical-looking photographer. He spied at me through his camera, with his six-pack and his ginormous pecs. His body was tanned and fit. Something about him seemed unreliable, and he'd been with an aloof air about him. Well, it didn't seem like he was a bad guy in any case. Whoa. He surprised me. Although startled when I turned around, he overplayed his reaction. That was my line. I'm the one who's surprised here. My bad, I didn't mean to startle you. Are you from Hinamizawa? I gather that he wasn't from that question. Unfazed by my suspicious outlook, he introduced himself without my prompting. I'm Tomitake, freelance photographer. I come to Hinamizawa from time to time. I didn't ask you who you were. Quite rude to photograph someone without consent, one would think. My bad, my bad. Many photograph wild birds. They can't refuse, you see. So what you're saying, I'm the same as the birds? No, well, you see, that image of a young man in the twilight was just picture skew. I apologise for trying to take your picture without asking. Adults are pretty slick. All that annoyance I felt from being startled just flew away as he buttoned me up. I had no intention of hanging around with this guy trying to get cozy with me, except it didn't seem like Reina would be back soon. This older guy, Tomitake, he didn't mind my cautious responses and continued rambling on by himself. Keiichi, sorry to keep you waiting. I'm finished now. Reina popped her head out from one of the lower piles of garbage and waved her hands. You have someone with you? What would she be doing over there? That's what I wanted to know. Dunno. Maybe she's checking on that dismembered corpse that was out here long ago. Tomitake looked shaken up by that for a moment. Uh-oh, I responded like I would if I were talking with Reina and the others. It's quite a disturbing incident. They still haven't found one of the arms. Keiichi, sorry to keep you. You were waiting a while, I guess? Best leave you two lovebirds alone. Again, my apologies for startling you, Keiichi. I know some of the Tomitake chortled suggestively, then disappeared into the twilight. What a weirdo. Some of the nuances lost without the honorifics, I know, but I feel kind of weird saying them. Missing my chance to retort put me off a bit. Keiichi, are you angry? Why, I wonder? It wasn't Reina's fault, so I decided to just brush it off for now. How was it? Find a treasure trove? Oh yes, so listen, you see, there was a Colonel Sanders doll. Colonel Sanders doll? Oh, that thing. Those statues they was having in front of that fried chicken place. That life-size dummy? Yes, Colonel Sanders. I want to take it home. Couldn't tell how she decides what's cute or not, but well, she seemed to want it. It's garbage, right? No one will care if you just take it home, right? It's become the base of another pile. Can't dig it out easily. There's no lamppost over there, so it'll get pretty dark soon. Reina seemed quite down about finding a treasure and not being able to bring it back. I'll help you out, to repay you for that delicious picnic you prepared today. Thank you. Birds heading home to Reese proclaimed that nightfall would soon be upon us. Keiichi is going to help. I can take Colonel Sanders home. Reina staggered along as if intoxicated in her dreamy state of mind, tried asking her in a way that wouldn't take her out of a cheery state. Reina, long ago, did something happen here? Seems like they were building a dam here. I don't know the details though. Just wondering if you knew about, an accident or something. I don't know. The tone was disturbingly frank. Sounded more like a denial than an answer. Must have appeared rather dumbstruck. Reina quickly lightened her expression. Actually, I didn't live here until a year ago. Huh? You transferred here too? We're sure that... So you see, I don't really know much from before that. Sorry. Don't really know, don't want to talk about it. That was the kind of feeling she gave me. Waggled eyebrows. Thinking about it, of course it'd be like that. It wasn't the type of thing girls would enjoy talking about. It's quite a disturbing incident. It seems they haven't been able to find one of the arms. It's just like Tomitake-tan said. I had a feeling only Higurashi would know. Definitely in the waggles eyebrows suggestively zone here. Receive new tips. The Maibara Mansion, the dam site, murders/dismemberment. Keiichi, you're not stinking rich. What is this all of a sudden? Did I come to school in a limo before? How much do you get for a monthly allowance? About $10? My, it's a rather plebeian amount. His lunch is made up of normal stuff. He isn't rich. What are you talking about? If you asked out of nowhere how much I get and then told that's a plebeian amount? sorry. Reina seemed to pick up on my dubious expression and start giggling. Keiichi, your house, you know, it's pretty big, yeah? See, the architecture is people all around Hinamizawa calling it the Maybara Manor, and it sort of stands out. Maybara Manor? Since the house is so big, everyone is gossiping, wondering exactly how rich you are. I see. Now I get it. Well, the frame of it is huge. See how it could cause some misunderstandings. From my deduction, I wager they spent too much money on building the house, and that's why they're now broke. Being broke, how very, very unfortunate. Rika-chan took pity on me as she patted my head. I go from being treated like a millionaire to a beggar. Yeah, sorry for ruining your imagination, but we aren't millionaires or poor. We're the image of a normal, average household. You can't call it normal with that huge house. The entranceway is all grand and the gate is large enough for a large truck to get through. It's not normal at all. They do say the bigger your house, the more prosperous you are. The reason the house is so big is because Dad's studio is in it too. There are a bunch of different workshops and lots of his works hung up in different places. All of them are huge too. For those reasons, the family actually only uses a third of the house for day-to-day living. Planned out so people and cars can come in to see the gallery he opens up in the house someday. By the way, the entranceway Mion is talking about is one for the studio, and it's normally sealed off. The entranceway the Maibara family actually uses is a plain and simple one. The interior is much different from how it looks on the outside. We'd like a chance to explore Keiichi's house. Claiming not to be rich but having a home like that, what could be hidden there? Maybe there's something cute hidden. He probably had no money to purchase furniture, so it's filled with farting rooms. If there are carpeted rooms, I'd love to try rolling around on the floor. Wow, that'd be great. I want to roll around too. Seems like their imaginations were just piling on. Well, sometime in the near future, it wouldn't be too bad to invite them all to my house. Dad is a sucker for the lady, so we might even let them look around the studio. I cried the Higurashi crescendo as the sky towered over everything. It was hot, but the air was clear. It smelled like the beginning of summer. This is the shit that I'm intrigued by. From the June XX 1979 edition. The Shishibon City Okinomiya Police Station, June XX, late at night. Suspects 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 were arrested on suspicion of murder and improper disposal of a corpse. The main offender, 3, has been added to wanted lists nationwide. According to our sources, the 6 suspects were at the Hinamizawa Dam construction site on the XX at 9 PM. They're suspected to have assaulted and murdered the site overseer, Baba as a group, dismembering his body and hiding it. 7 as a group, I say. On the XX at 8 o'clock in the morning, a report was found by the Shishibone City Hospital in which a male suspect alluded to having murdered Mr. 7. The question at the police station, individual confessed to the crime. Since a portion of the body was recovered at the location he gave, he was arrested that afternoon on suspicion of murder and mutilation of a corpse. The rest of the suspects were arrested the same day, but the main culprit is still at large. Police are currently on his trail. The motive is purported to be a drunken verbal dispute during which he killed the victim in a fit of anger. However, as there are multiple inconsistencies with the testimonies, the investigation is ongoing. I'll look at these ones as well. Get the dialogue from here. We're now the same age? Yes, that's right. We're at the same zodiac animal too. Hey now, it'd be weird if we were the same age but not the same zodiac animal. Zodiac animal. It's not true. If your birthday isn't the same, then you can have different animals even if you're the same age. Huh? Oh, I see. Leon, you're pretty smart. What month were you born, by the way, Keiichi? I'm July. Reina smirked and puffed up with pride. Now, what's the meaning of this? She's not planning to be all high and mighty if her birthday's a wee bit sooner than mine, is she? Don't even. It's impossible to challenge me by birthday. I wouldn't even mind if you bet $1 per month. Huh? What? Why? Panic's suddenly being challenged to a wager. Given how panicked she is, I'm certain she doesn't have much allowance left this month. It's just sending her into a panic about something simple as a birthday is so fun. I can't help myself. So that means you were born in April, Keiichi. Right on. Too bad, Reina. I'm already far older than Reina. Far older than you. Oh, I see. Then you're the same age as Mion. Well, it's just a few months. That gap will open up again soon enough. Mion snickered through her nose. Hey now, it's not something you get all high and mighty about, as if I'm one to talk. Now that you mention it, you're in a higher grade, right, Mion? If you're into underclassmen, then I can be an underclassman from now on. Mion, you're not making any sense to me. Just by seeing Reina's blushing face, you could tell she knew exactly what she meant by it, though. Then Stoke and Rika-chan are underclassmen? The grade is so different they should be in a different school, shouldn't they? Keiichi, your tastes are a bit too young, I think. You're not making any sense yourself, Reina. Just grab onto her head and scruff it up a bit. Stop it. Wondered about it before, yeah. Was wondering why the school had different school years all mixed up. There aren't enough classrooms. Can't help it. The building is rented from the forestry services after all. When she says it like that, it makes sense. Thought our school was strange for a while now. The schoolyard is gravel, there are rooms that aren't for classes, and there's some strange little construction machinery parked here. Why is it being borrowed? What happened to the real school? There was one here forever from before the war. Got dilapidated. They closed it down. Probably was a grand old schoolhouse. Well, because of that, the students would have to attend the school in the city. It's pretty far though, you know? Which school would that be? Did you know there's a school if you pass by the Okinomiya train station, turn at the hospital and head towards the pediatrics department? What? So far. Couldn't tell where that was by the location, but I understood it was pretty far from Reina's reaction. Well, that's why. Guys that didn't want to commute to Okinomiya rented out the building from the forestry services and are attending the pseudo schoolhouse here. About half the children in Hinamizawa go here. Quite a lot of kids that come here on bike. Well, since they're attending this really messed up school, it might be pretty hard for them to get into higher education. It's not true, Mion. If you study properly, you can go anywhere you want. Yeah, that's right. That's right. I totally agree with Reina on this one. Yeah, that's right. Let's try our best. If you try your best, this old man will be rooting for you. Not just us, you too. You should be preparing for exams, shouldn't you? Future is bleak with grades like this. Fine, just fine. If I get stuck, then I'll just mooch off Keiichi as he works forever. What do you mean by work forever? What do you mean? Hey, you're too loud. Be quiet during self-study. Teacher yelled at the three of us. It's completely our fault. Stoko saw it and chortled haughtily. Stuck out my tongue at her in response. It is just as Mion says. School has nothing to do with higher education, but it makes up for that by having lots of valuable things other schools don't. The changing expressions keeps like not surprising me, but it's like funky little gifts. It's only June, but it's already so hot. You can hear the Higurashi outside chirping, me, and at night there are mosquitoes. Might as well be summer already. My only salvation was that the mornings were still cool. Summer, do you declare? Stoko was flapping her skirt languidly. It's pretty unladylike there. Even if she was a little brat, she was still a girl. Keiichi does seem quite cool with just a single button-up shirt. So jealous. From how I see things, the skirt you're wearing looks like it'd be much cooler. A girl like you just wouldn't understand, wearing jeans during the season and how steamy things get. Cotton's got imagining something. Wearing summer clothes have a nice refreshing colour. Feel cooler just looking at them. Thank you. They really do feel pretty cool. I do wish my summer clothes were as breezy as Reina's. But Stoko, your summer clothes are so cute, being a one-piece and all. I like to wear your summer clothes. It's actually quite stuffy, you know. I do believe what you're wearing would feel much cooler. But it would be so much more fun with cute clothes. I had a feeling that Reina and Stoko's base values were fundamentally different. Speaking of which, our school doesn't have a uniform? Question mark? Yeah, it doesn't. As long as they're proper, then regular clothes are fine. There are quite a few students in regular clothes. There are a few wearing uniforms, but they were all the same design and rather plain. What's the uniform they're all wearing? They're all the same. That's the city school's uniform. It's not like there's a rule, but they're all wearing them. Speaking of which, everybody in our group is wearing a different uniform, aren't they? Did you go out of your way to get them from somewhere? Yes, Mion supplied them. Mion's relative runs a second-hand clothing store. They can get school clothes from all over the country for cheap, they say. So you've asked those relatives to get a bunch of unique school uniforms then. That Mion, she probably loves using her friends as dress-up dolls. Must be a strange second-hand clothing store. I get that it's a second-hand clothing store, but stocking clothes from schools all over the country? It's pretty strange for a clothing store. What's the point in stocking up clothes from faraway schools they know nothing about? Yeah, I think so too. They also have used school swimsuits and PE uniforms. Don't think they are having used ones. Doesn't sound like that shop makes much money. Probably have Mion pitch in and help so they can make a bit more. But Mion says it'll be a big hit and become a great store, with such conviction. Second-hand clothing store that stocks school uniforms will be a big hit? I don't get it. I mean, yeah. So I have heard, actually, and by heard I mean I just looked it up, that, this game actually has, 12 chapters. So I think probably the first half will be a bit slower, and then it'll pick up near the end. Colonel Sanders? Of course, that's right up her alley. I understand I want to take Miss Toko and Rika-chan, but I can't understand that it's Colonel Sanders, so good a bit out for I geezer. Probably better to hear it from Reina, don't you think? She'll probably just say, because it's so cute though. Does Reina often go to the construction site to hunt for treasure? Every now and then she says she's going to have a look, but a girl rage rummaging around in garbage as well. If Reina enjoys it, then I think it's just fine. What were they doing over there? Dam construction? Been bugging me since yesterday like an itch I couldn't scratch. It was cancelled a long time ago. Everyone gathered together and fought against it. Hearing an ominous word like fought come from Rika's mouth startled me. That's right. It was unbelievable. They said Hinamizawa would be sunk into the reservoir and we had no say in the matter, so I'm only able to be here because the protest succeeded. I'm sorry. I didn't keep you, did I? My deepest apologies, Keiichi. It took me a while to powder my nose. Stoko, wait to use the cannon until you really have to go. It's a lot easier since it shoots grim. Calling a maiden. Stoko really was a maiden. She wouldn't have reacted like that. Usual hijinks ensued. Now then, gentlemen, in accordance with the rules of society, I bring a point to discussion. Keiichi Mabara wishes to be included as a member in activities. What say you? Reina has no objection. Oh, I wonder if it likes this peasant is up to the task. Me and Stoko both approve. Three that Mion and Queried voiced their approval. Unanimous decision. Congrats, Keiichi Mabara. I present you the honour of being allowed to take the entrance exam for our club. Start from the beginning. I didn't say I would join. What club is this? What our club does, you see, in order to cope with a complicated society, we perform various activities under different sets of rules. Sometimes they're in your favour, sometimes they work against you. Pretty weak, so I prefer if you didn't single me out. Let's try to get along. You're so naive, Reina. The law of the jungle is survival of the fittest. This is starting to sound a bit sketchy. So what kind of club was it? To sum it up, it's a club where we play games together. Rika was the only one to answer my question with a pertinent response. So basically, this club puts me on a hobby of collecting games to use, by playing the various games that Mion had hoarded every day, assuming that depending on the day, there were prizes for the winner or a penalty for the person who finished in last place. I'll make this clear right now, we aren't playing house here. You shouldn't treat each other, each win or loss, or if your life depends on it, alright? So we're just having fun. Don't make it sound so crazy. First rule of our society? Aim only for first place. Going at it half-assed just because it's a game is not allowed. Rule number 2 of our society? For that reason, you're obligated to make all possible efforts. The way Stoko said it sounded like she was saying use any means necessary. Of course, I will do my best too. I'm pretty weak, but I'm trying my best. I knew what they were trying to say. In a game where everybody is aiming for the top, it's rather unsportsmanlike just to play for fun. Alright, then I too will go all out. With that, I was finally ready for the rite of initiation, my baptism into the club. Me pouring apple juice without spilling any. That's the baptism. A word of warning, Keiichi. Reina can get pretty nasty. The initiation looks like it's going to be rough. Mion began fishing around in the student lockers in the back of the room. They have the games here at the school. Well, it's club equipment, so I guess that's fine. Complicated games would put Keiichi in a disadvantage, so today we'll play a game that you should be familiar with. Card game like Old Bachelor? Alright, let's do this. I don't know why it gave me that weird audio. Can't really get into it unless there's a penalty. This time the loser will be sentenced to having their face drawn on. What do you think? Whoa. Won't be oil-based paint, right? Right. Oil-based face painting with oil-based paint? Perfect. Stoko cheered the idea on. Didn't even flinch at the thought of such a severe penalty. Seemed like she was raring to go. It's a great way to get spots. It's going to be like this, then I can't lose either. Then I'll just cut the deck and start dealing. Old Bachelor is pretty much the same as Old Maid. Only one difference. There's no joker. In its place, one card is pulled out at the start, meaning there'll be one card without match left over at the end. You don't know which card will end up being the joker. It's a pretty thrilling game. Take out the card now. Reina took out one card and left it face down on the table. Everybody stared at the card intently. Well, it'll be pretty obvious in the endgame. No way to tell at the start. The rest of them were very serious. Didn't seem as relaxed as I was. Compared their cards to the one face down, all while gauging each other's reactions. as if they could see what the face-down card was. No, it couldn't be. Heck, it's pretty worn out. Wait, can everyone tell by the scratches what the card on the table is? Remember the second rule of our society? Keiichi must try his hardest to win as well. A number of cards are quite unique. Keiichi should be able to remember them pretty quickly. Said that so matter-of-factly. Seriously fine. Don't think a little thing like that can be your crutch. Lashed out angrily, but it's rather obvious it was at a disadvantage. After all, they'd gone so far as to memorise the wear and tear for each individual card. It wasn't a simple game of Old Bachelor. This was a test. They were playing with the answer right in front of them. Bring it. Take advantage of your carelessness and beat you at your own game. Baseless confidence would soon be crushed. How about I tell you your hand starting from the right? 3, 4, 9, Jack, Queen. What? By the way, Bachelor is the Jack of Diamonds. But you can tell what they are even if you switch them around. I am out. I thought I was prepared, but for it to be this brutal, just overwhelming. Demons. You're all demons. Rain isn't a demon, are you? Sorry, Keiichi. This is 3 parts, isn't it? I'm out. Even hint of mercy. Even weaker. The calamities weren't to be trifled with. An alumni of this club would definitely survive in the cruelest of situations. If our entire class of self-detonating college strapped to their necks and were dropped onto a death match on a deserted island, these guys would probably take to it like a fish to water. You can already picture their joy as they hunt down each of their classmates. It's a lowest point system. Order itself dictates the lowest points. Whoever has the lowest point total wins. Since Keiichi finished last, he has 5 points. Maybe a 5 marked down on my scoreboard. I think it's unfair to Keiichi if we don't use the new deck. It's fine. Keiichi is a man after all. You can turn the tables even if the odds are stacked against him, right? I think there's music. Fitting for a lonely person to scamper home and soak the pillow in tears, don't you think so? A pretty hand laid itself on top of my head, which was trembling from uncontainable frustration. Was Rika's. Keep on fighting, yeah. Thanks to Rika's words of encouragement, I was able to calm down. You need to be calm, especially when you're cornered. That's the power I could muster during this crisis. Think clearly, Keiichi Maibara. Take your time and look at the cards carefully. It's just as Rain said, each card has its own distinct memorising, markings that made them stand out. Memorising them should be pretty simple. Think about what you can do in the situation. Try everything in your power to improve your chances of victory. Great, Keiichi, just like that. Have the uniquely marked cards with my hands, or other cards, arranging them in such a way that they couldn't be seen. The one with the ripped corner should be the 5, and I'm out. Couldn't let any of those pushes slip me by. All information as a weapon. And it was my turn. Stoker found out of cards for me. See, I want the 7. Is it this one? Wonder about that. You won't know unless you take it. There was a bit of dismay in her expression, like she doesn't want it taken. That kind of expression. I won't let that momentary lapse slip by me. I know, it's this one. Got it. 7 of spades. Cheer of ooh rang out. What is this? 7 should be the hardest one of all to tell apart. It wasn't from memorising emotions. The slight changes in their expressions as I was selecting the card were enough. This means nothing to me because I don't know how to play this card game. Can't hide from me, Keiichi. This mark means it's the 2 of diamonds. What? She was started by her own misread. Of course, everyone else was too. Oh, it's rare that Mion gets a card wrong. No. Keiichi, could it be that you... They told them apart by different marks. That mark was a nail scratch, so I put a new one on it. Are you saying he disguised it as the 2 of diamonds? What an impressive show of wit! Keiichi landed a clean hit. Clap, clap, clap. That's great, Keiichi. That was an incredible match, you know. No? Having defeated the Forerunner, Mion, my brilliant battle left me ecstatic. But by total points, it was already set in stone that Mion would win and I would finish last. Laughed haughtily, selecting the tone of my voice carefully to get on Mion's nerves. Well, I'm going to end up the loser, but I'm satisfied with one-upping Mion at the end. Should be the proverbial slap in the face to Mion, who was at the top already and assured victory. Even if Keiichi gets first place this round, he'll still end up last place overall. Don't you hate that? Of course I do. Let's have a duel. 1 chance. If you win, then we'll swap first and last place. How about it? You up for it? She fell for it. Chance for an upset that wouldn't be possible without goading her into it. Oops, wrong button. 1 chance, you say? Let me hear the rules. Mion discarded her 2 cards from the hand and replaced one with the Joker card that was on the table and shuffled the resulting hand behind her back. The card on my right or the card on my left? Keiichi can guess which hand the Joker's in, then he wins. When you turned around just now, you didn't pull out the Joker, did you? If you lose, I'll show the card in the other hand. That okay? And the three gulped nervously at this unexpected turn of events. Alright, you've got it. Mion grasped one card in each hand and thrust them out at me. First, I need to inspect them closely. The card on the right hand had no distinguishing marks. I couldn't tell which one it was. Which one, I wonder, Keiichi? Be careful. Of course, this is my chance for a big comeback. Looking closely at the card on the left, I saw a little wear. It wasn't the one I'd seen before. Oh, that card is... Didn't let that from Stoko slip me by. Mion clucked her tongue. Didn't recognise the mark on the left card from the small number that I'd memorised. Didn't know what the left card was, but I can tell from Stoko's reaction the card had already appeared during the game. Since it already appeared before, it meant that it definitely wasn't the Joker. Ooh, Keiichi thinks it's the one on the right? Will you choose that one then? Will you? That card definitely wasn't the Joker. If I could trust that theory, I should have been able to declare that the card to the right was Joker. Even without Mion's taunting, the one on the right was the most suspicious. It wasn't a bit too rash to decide based solely on Stoko's reaction. More carefully. Ah, I remember now. Mark the left card. No doubt about it. 7 of clubs. 7 of clubs, I see. I won. Card on the left was the 7 of clubs. So that means the card on the right was the Joker. And then just before my hand touched the right card, I froze. I expect no less from you. It's a wave of murmurs amongst the onlookers at my sun hole, right before I confirmed the right card was the Joker. What? What could Keiichi possibly be saying? I mean, the left one is... Shh. Oh, what makes you so certain the right one isn't the Joker, Keiichi? Mion let loose an unexpected question. Everyone else was baffled. I don't know what the card on the right could be, but I know that the one on the left is the 7 of clubs. Then, doesn't that leave the right one as the Joker? One of them has to be the Joker, right? Yeah, one of those is the Joker, right? Keiichi has good intuition. Rika, what do you mean by... So basically, 7 of clubs. Discard that by matching it with Stoko's 7 of spades earlier. Everyone's attention snapped to the discard pile at the same time. The truth of the matter couldn't be discerned from that sloppy pile. That means Mion pocketed one of the discarded cards, then aligned it over the left card. And that means... I see, I get it. Left card has been disguised as the 7 of clubs, right? It was the first time since the start of the match that a shadow ran across Mion's expression, and I didn't let that slip by. Then with the ground flourish, I declared it loudly. Joker is the left one. It was an intense moment. That 1 second felt like an eternity for everyone there. Breaking that silence, the first one to speak was Mion. Being the first president of this club, I've been witness to a variety of performances. Keiichi, yours is the best. Best of the best of the best. Probably the greatest compliment Mion could give. Mion accepted defeat, dropping the cards from both hands. My comeback victory! Rika placed her hands on my head and began petting it, congratulating me on my victory. Huh? Rika is... Raina and Stoko gasped us, as if they'd seen a ghost. What is it, Raina? It's not as if I cheated or anything, right? This is fair and square. Rika only pet someone on the head to console them. What's the meaning of that moment? Raina let out a small shriek. Keiichi, this is how it was? You know, Keiichi, I thought you'd read into it that far. Everyone froze. No, it was just me. It was a gamble. If you just jumped to conclusions like a little brat, I would have lost. It was the answer everyone was certain about. Mion picked up the card from the losing hand. Keiichi, you know, you should take pride in this loss. She turned it around. This is the card that proclaimed the victor of this duel. The card under the 7 of clubs. It was the 2 of diamonds. It was the setup behind the setup. I just picked the right one without reading so deeply into it. I, Mion Samizaki, as the club president, do accept Keiichi Maebara's membership into our club. As I fell to my knees, dazed, everyone let out a round of applause for the excellent effort I gave despite my defeat. The match is now over. Today's victor is me, Mion Samizaki, and our exalted loser is Keiichi Maebara. Everyone made a commotion, applauding cheerfully. Felt I was bested, but I was so soundly beaten it unexpectedly felt rather refreshing. When Mi-chan pulled that little trick behind her back, I got excited, thinking she's got to do it again. When Keiichi stopped the moment before touching the red card, I thought, he fell for it. He fell for it quite handily. Huh? Hey, wait, all of them knew from the start and still got so excited so earnestly? Everyone got excited to make it more fun. You're all demons, you're monsters. Now then, Keiichi, it's time for your penalty. Since your first day participating, I'll go easy, okay? Be a problem if you refuse to come to school. Other 3 members held down my arms and shoulders firmly. Mion approached, licking her lips. Her right hand went to pull something out of her pocket. It's a felt-tip marker and it's large and oil-based. Here we go. Shook half the marker and broke it slowly up to my face while I was immobilized. Oh. I let out my death throes. like mysterious story where someone wakes up drunk and falls asleep drunk and wakes up with something drawn on their face, but has never happened to me, despite all the places I have fallen asleep while drunk. Amazingly, somehow. As soon as the club activities were finished, Raina flew off, probably so she could dig out that cute Colonel Sanders she wasn't able to take home yesterday. So today it was just Mion and I, walking home together, a rather rare occurrence. A mountain of treasure, huh? Guys throwing it away probably never thought in their wildest dreams that Raina would be grateful to them. Mountain of treasure meaning that damn construction site from before. Oh right, Mion will probably tell me. Murder by dismemberment that seems to have happened there. Over there, you know at that damn construction site, did something happen there? Long ago? Something sure did, a grand battle. There were sit-ins and demonstrations. It was a bit different from what I wanted to hear, but I decided I'd listen just the same. It was our land that was going to be sunk into the dam reservoir. I would have thought as well, probably. The Crovenant guys were really adamant about it, acting all big and full of themselves. Since they figured out they couldn't settle it with money, they did a bunch of nasty stuff. They were nasty guys. Mia spoke excitedly as if the whole thing was happening right in front of her. I'm amazed you guys won. You're facing the federal government, right? Mayor and prominent figures in the village all signed petitions. They went to Tokyo and struck deals with legislators. As a result, the development plan was retracted. It was our complete victory. Wasn't any violence, was there? Like assaults or murders? None. She probably cut me off. Same as Reina had. Her words signaled the end of discussion. Tomitake said one arm wasn't found in the incident. Thought that a murder by dismemberment had occurred, but I guess I was wrong. Curiosity unsated, I sighed dejectedly inside. Later. See you tomorrow. Keiichi, you can't wash that off until you get home, got it? I got it. I won't. Mion held back a laughter while stealing glances at my face. I wonder what kind of nasty doodles they drew. Damn you, Mion, you shall rue this day. If the rolls are ever reversed, I'm going to slap it on. All over your face, so you won't be able to take it off, even with a scouring pad. Upon arriving home, I ran straight into my mum, embarrassing myself yet again. The mood I come home to was already on edge. It's not an uncommon thing in our family. Whenever Dad can't come up with a good idea, it always ends up like this. He sobs around the house with his arms crossed. Mum whispered into my ear, I'll come home, Keiichi. Dad, he's in a bit of a rut right now, so don't bother him, okay? He can't come up with a new idea? It's because the deadlines are so close together this time. Dad needs time to recharge or he doesn't work as well. Dad's paintings feed our entire family. If he runs out of ideas, then it's the end of the Maybaras. We've never gone hungry before. Could it be that my dad is a master painter? Wouldn't it be easier to get an idea taking a walk outside than wandering around the house? Theme of the piece's time is in the household, so it seems your dad wants to use his house as a motif. Quite a bothersome motif. Keiichi, pick up your room, it looks terrible. Sorry, I'll clean it up later. Come on, please don't use my room as the motif. Keiichi, there's still some time before dinner, so please go take a walk out back or something. His bad mood is only temporary. As soon as he gets an idea, his mood improves and he starts humming. Till then, it wouldn't be a bad idea to just go take a walk so I don't aggravate him further. I guess I will then. Said I was going to take a walk, but I didn't have any particular destination in mind. Just needed to kill some time. Got on my bike and pondered where to go. Could just go read at the bookstore, but it would take about an hour by bike to get to town. It would be dark by the time I got back, so I didn't want to go unless I had to. Roads at night here in Hinamizawa creeped me out. Mion Sotoko found out about that? I smiled wryly. Oh yeah, Reina was probably still at the Mountain of Treasure, the damn construction site. The excavation of Colonel Sanders was probably taking her a while, so it wouldn't be too bad to have her own one. She might return the favour next time we have club activities. With a bit of self-interest in mind, I set off towards the dam construction site. That damn construction site. Tomitake-san might be there as well. The only person with information about the incident both Reina and Mion denied knowing anything about. If I met him again, I'd like to ask for more details. To ask, was there really dismemberment here in Hinamizawa? That was my real intention. Saw the Raina struggling up on the slope of the garbage pile. Looked like Colonel Sanders was lodged in there pretty firmly. Didn't look like Raina would be able to excavate him by herself. Realizing that Tomitake wasn't around, I began climbing up the slope unsteadily. Hey, Raina, looks like you're working up a sweat. Whoa, Keiichi. What brings you to a place like this? A place like this, huh? I see. She was aware of it, at least. Received a signal for emergency assistance at the accident site. Where is the injured party? Huh? Accident? There was a report Colonel Sanders was buried alive in a trash pile. Oh, that scared me. Don't frighten me like that, Keiichi. Was just kidding. I thought you might be struggling by yourself, so I came to help you out. You came for me? Oh, well, I filled my quota for today. If I don't see Raina blush at least once a day, then I'm not getting my daily required nutritional intake. Just kidding. You're embarrassing me now. So, what part was the joke? What part was it? Just ignored her bewilderment. Okay, now, move out the way. So where is Colonel Sanders? Ah, sorry. Can't you see him in that gap? It's really buried in there. Colonel Sanders was sideways, surrounded by boards, and she said, I almost read that as bards. Other construction materials, like they were catering him inside. According to Raina, it wasn't like this yesterday. Seems as though another illegal dumper came yesterday, dumped again, and now he's buried like this. You're trying to move this pile all by yourself? Those scrawny arms? There's no way she'd be able to do that with her slender arms. But Colonel Sanders is so cute. There's a chain on the Colonel Sanders at the store. This one, I should be able to take this one home. Raina go up on this Colonel Sanders. She'll probably start devising a plan to steal the one in front of the store. As Raina's guardian, I won't allow her to sully her hands with crime. Out of the way, I'll do it. Raina brushed again, but this time I left it alone. The pile was enormous. Also, the more days were wasted, the more likely another legal dumping would occur. If it got buried any deeper, there'd be nothing that could be done. I keep feeling like I'm gonna sneeze. I'll help too. Let me help. Just get in the way, so stay back. Ooh. Pulling out straps, bending them, tossing them aside, Higurashi became covered in sweat and dust. Oh. Flying objects drew beautiful arcs across the twilight sky, one after another. Lumber, timber, plywood. Damn it! No matter how much I threw out, there was still more. Even though I could see Colonel Sanders right there, to ground standing like that in front of Raina, I felt frantic because of how little I'd progressed. I was going to do this seriously. I need an axe or a saw or something. It's enough, Keiichi. You're so sweaty. You don't have to try so hard. I'm doing it for you, Raina. Don't worry about it. Raina began sputtering and turned beet red. Whoops, I meant to say I was trying my best to keep her from becoming a criminal. Oh well. I like that. I guess I just need a break. This is pretty tough. I sprawled on my back over the grassy slope. Sorry, I've got the sneezes. It keeps happening. I'm so sorry. You're covered in sweat. Raina patted a handkerchief against my forehead. Felt pretty nice. Oh, well, wait here a minute, okay? My house is pretty close, so I'll bring you some barley tea, okay? Leaving the handkerchief on my forehead, Raina took off running. Cries of the Higurashi gently pulled the air. After I was certain that Raina was gone, I picked myself up and headed towards I'd discovered earlier. It was a garbage pile of magazines and newspapers bound up in twine. Unless I'm mistaken, I believe it was around here. There it was. There were bound stacks of not so reputable tabloids, stacked chronologically, going back quite a few years. Quite a disturbing incident. Seems they haven't been able to find one of the arms, you see. If it was just as Tomitake said, then undoubtedly there would be mention in the murder. These are horrible times. There's no end to these sickening incidents. There's a large part of society were drawn in by these incidents as well, so it had to be recorded, somewhere. I fastened the packages and opened the rain-soaked pages carefully, looking over the table of content. As a true crime... As perhaps as a true crime fan, that's not the way to put it. As a fan of media about true crime, you didn't need to call me out like this. Thanks, game. Not here. Next one. Not here. Next one. It was hard to search since I didn't know when it happened. Didn't know who the perpetrator or the victim was either. I only knew it had happened here. Looked up every so often, check and see if Raina had come back or not. Wouldn't want to see me gawking at a dirty magazine, but it wasn't just that. Both Raina and Mion said they didn't know, but it happened without a doubt. As long as Tomitake wasn't lying. Then if both Raina and Mion... Ah, yeah, there it was. Yeah, there was. If they just said that, then I wouldn't have gotten so hung up on it. An incident that neither Raina or Mion wish to talk about. But, wording for that sentence, if both Raina and Mion, if either of them had just said, ah yeah, there was, then I wouldn't have gotten so hung up about it. Sentence makes more sense. Keep accidentally hitting quick load rather than make the dialogue. Trying to uncover after they tried to conceal out of good intentions made me feel like I was acting against my friends. Hinamizawa dam worker lynching. Murder by dismemberment. Here it is. Featured article was in the back, and it seemed that there was a photograph and coloured pages at the front. Pages of the featured article were stuck together and weren't easy to open. Raina could return at any moment. Feeling rushed, I gave up and opened the photograph page. Police investigators were carrying a body bag, and newspaper reporters were all bathing in it in camera flashes. Image was blurry and hard to understand, but I could definitely make out the headlines. Tragic nightmare at the Hinamizawa construction site. Lynching and murder/dismemberment. Victim was the site foreman. He had assaulted his assailants daily with an explosive backlash from his daily actions. It's a horrible image to see the site foreman as it happened. It really did happen. Seeing the details were on the next page. Turned the page without pausing. On it was... The assailants butchered the victim's body with hatchets and pickaxes. Then used an axe to split the cadaver into 6 pieces. Head, the arms, legs and torso. Could understand just from the headline that it was just too terrible an incident. Normally, a lynching is just assault and murder, right? Dismemberment with hatchets and pickaxes? That wasn't a lynching. It was a merciless killing to the letter. A brutal murder. Done by a group of people. With hatchets. With pickaxes. With an axe. Sorry, did I startle you? Did I startle you? Rinna dropped the axe she was holding onto the grass after being startled by my voice. Keiichi, you see, earlier you said it would help if you had an axe, didn't you? So then I brought an axe for you from the shed. Rinna fluttered her arms in a panic, continuing to explain and apologise. Seemed to have been glaring at her pretty intensely. I'm sorry, I guess my reaction was a bit overboard. No, I'm sorry as well. Night was drawing in close. Pretty worn out and it wouldn't hurt to do the rest tomorrow. Doesn't look like we can break that last beam without an axe. You brought it after all. I'll have to borrow it tomorrow, alright? Okay. Why do you look so glum? Tomorrow we'll be digging out Colonel Sanders, right? You're right. I really want to take Colonel Sanders home soon. Exactly. Both knew that it was useless to apologise any more than that. Quenched my thirst with the barley tea Rain had bought and wiped off the sweat that had now gone cold. We took the path to head home. I felt quite guilty about the tabloid wrapped up in my jacket. The wink wink nudge nudge is pretty heavy there. Receive new tips. The Hinamizawa Dam Project. Special tabloid report. I'm gonna check something super quickly. I'm gonna check something, sorry about that. Here we go. October 1975. In accordance with the Prime Minister's Bulletin number, blah blah blah, Hinamizawa's electrical development master plan was announced. Vast scope of the projected Hinamizawa Dam will have an incredibly heavy impact on the village of Hinamizawa. The flooded area caused by the Hinamizawa Dam would include the 5 areas of Hinamizawa, Takatsudo, Kyotsu, Matsumoto, and Higurashi. The submerged area includes 291 houses, population 1,251, 1 elementary school, 1 middle school, 1 post office, 1 agricultural co-op, 1 forestry department lumberyard, 5 shrines, 2 temples, and 1 fishery. All of these communal, cultural, agricultural areas and places of worship will be indefinitely submerged at the bottom of an artificial lake basin. Forsaking the hundreds of years our ancestors poured their blood and sweat into this fertile, resource-rich land is just too painful to bear. All the residents having homes that were to be submerged banded together and created the Onikakushi Defence Alliance. Dam project was halted and petitions to alter the plan were circulated. Citizens sought peaceful negotiations, but the government and its puppet company, XXX, openly refused. Performing unspeakable heinous acts, they quashed the democratic actions of the villagers. But the villagers did not falter. Instead, they banded together even more closely and steeled their resolve to protect their homes to the death. Continuation of that frightening Hinamizawa Dam construction project is stalled as of today. Villagers understand that the stalling was caused by sublime power through unity, and they understand this fearsome plan has not yet been fully withdrawn. The Onikakushi Defence Alliance has been dissolving after it did its parts, but the feelings of unity at Garden have not yet been extinguished. As long as that passion resides in the hearts of residents, they'll be able to confront whoever next decides to sink their homes into a lake basin. Onikakushi Defence Alliance Committee Chairman, Ichiro Kiyomishi. I read about things like this happening. I mean, they happen in many places. Oh. Yep. I can imagine, yeah. I read about this. The other thing I was reading about was what they were saying with not many people are born here earlier. There's almost an epidemic of it recently in Japan and possibly in other places, but I only really heard of it in Japan, of aging villages where people, you know, kids leave the village and move to the nearest city to work, and they raise their families in the city because that's where the jobs are, and the villages are mostly older people, and they're you know, starting to almost die off, quite sadly, which is a scary idea, I guess. Nightmare befalls the Hinamizawa Dam. Lynching and murder/dismemberment. In X month of X day in XX prefecture at the Hinamizawa Dam construction work site in Shishibone City, I suppose it's, bone-chillingly gruesome murder/dismemberment. Even though this case has shocked the archipelago, the police will give no details on the case. Exactly what happened at the Hinamizawa Dam. Probably didn't mean to kill him at first, but as the victim resisted by swinging around a shovel, the rest of the perpetrators armed themselves in return, and it quickly escalated to homicide. So said the aforementioned investigator A. After this bloody tragedy was over, they were left with the body, which nobody thought was alive. XX-Han had cemented the suspect daily with his rough behaviour. First it was meant to be payback. All the perpetrators were horrified with their deed, and one even turned himself into the police. It was the de facto leader of this group, six I was describing him earlier, who suggested hiding the body. Reluctantly at first, they soon began to think they did not wish to be caught. The construction site had numerous places to hide the body with 6 people. They were originally supposed to hide the body and leave the area, but the de facto leader feared that the consciences of the other 5 wouldn't be able to bear the burden. Came up with a horrifying method to keep them from turning him into the police. Devised a heinous method of splitting up the body amongst them and making each of them responsible for hiding a piece. 6 had turned to simple manslaughter into gruesome dismemberment and forcibly involved each perpetrator in order to create a sense of unity between them. Each one participated. But what does this mean? Person A spoke out reluctantly. 6 ordered each and every one of them to dissect a piece for themselves. They were hesitant at first, but nobody refused. In for a penny, in for a pound, was what it meant. Thus an unimaginable bloody ceremony began. Perpetrators wept and vomited as they performed the gruesome task. There was one person who stubbornly refused, but 6 threatened them, saying nothing would change if someone else ended up dead, and he gave up his objections. But 6's plan collapsed in the span of one night. I can't remember what number I'd given him. It's 2, refused to dissect the corpse until the last moment, broken down tears at hospital where he was treated for an injury sustained during the scuffle and confessed. Criminals were arrested one after another, but the de facto leader 6's whereabouts are still unknown. Also, the right arm hidden by 6 is yet to be found. Despite an ongoing search, this horrible individual has so far managed to elude law enforcement. What could the police be doing? It appears that 6 had said he was going to throw the body, right arm, into the marsh. 6's car was discovered abandoned in the marsh, but there were no clues as to his whereabouts. 6 didn't trust his companions. One cannot deny the possibility that he'd expect his companions to confess to the police and used his car as a decoy. Of course, I doubt that theory. Since he has no car, one would expect him to have a limited area to which he could escape to. But within the station there were rumours going around that he had accidentally slipped and drowned in the marsh when he went to throw away the body. With the locals, that marsh is believed to be bottomless. It's known as Onikakushi, the ogre's abyss, and it's said that the bottom of the marsh is connected to the hellish world of demons. Wink! The atrocious demon from hell that was 6. Could it be that he had returned to hell through the marsh? Fusion Dragon, bring up luck and fortune. Prosperous future, ladies leaping into your arms, business success, promotions, ambition, protection from harm, not just with pachinko and horse races, but business and even love. Guaranteed or your money back. Fusion Dragon Bracelet DX, One Piece, 2027, about just under $30, not adjusting for inflation. I like that. That's a really good. They bring you all the way down and they perk you right up at the end. That's really good. That's given me proper chills, that has. Right. Let us continue. Function of the school as an educational facility is very questionable. PE class is exceptionally disorganised. Only thing we do together are the warm-ups at the start. The teacher isn't even there after that. All we do is play together. No helping it, everybody's a different age or gender. The only rule was that we have to stay on school grounds while exercising. All the little kids were gallivanting about. Well, they certainly are being active. They might be getting plenty of exercise, but Board of Education probably completely forgot about this school. Sorry to keep you waiting. We're all together now. What should we do today for PE? Alright, we have all of our members gathered now. Now then, class representative, what should we do for PE today? What should we do? Sometimes I think about how uncomfortable that must be. Also, because I wear shorts, they don't go any higher than my knee. When I dress more feminine, I would sometimes wear like short shorts, but I would always have tights or leggings on. Because I'm emo forever. Explosive powder and endurance. There are no friends in the world of sports. Everyone is a rival. The only thing you can trust in is your own body. What the heck do you mean by that? You really read too much manga. I quipped without missing a beat. So we'll be taking a lesson from history. Tried and true king of all outdoor melee events. Let's play tag. I really don't like this sound effect, I have to say. Quite the choice to make after playing up so much. Just what I was hoping for. Down to head Keiichi, so be the first one to be it. I won't be beaten. I'll try my best too. You can't beat me. Are you guys also internet? Internet? Jesus, what's wrong with me? I shouldn't be allowed to read 2 sentences at once. Exactly, Lynn. Like, I can't be dealing with it. Third wall of our society must be taking the game, enjoying it without question. This counts as a club activity? Everyone's fighting to each other. They all seem pretty confident. I'm a man. Physically, I should be able to keep up with any girls my own age. Regardless, me and Stoko looked like they were aiming for victory, and Reina was looking at me as if hitting my disadvantage. Fine, tag, I'm in. My yell echoed across the school grounds. These were the rules. Anyone was able to evade being tagged before the bell was the winner. We didn't switch who was it. The ones who were tagged by it also became it, so the number of people who were it could increase exponentially. Endgame would become a hellish siege. Call the version we're playing here zombie tag, you see? Anyone affected by a zombie turns into a zombie. Wink. Why do you make it sound so scary, I wonder? As soon as I catch Reina, I'm gonna tear out her entrails while she's still alive. Gross, Keiichi, that's gross. Rika placed her hand on Reina's hand as she panicked. Don't worry, before Keiichi gobbles you down, I'll eat you up gently. That's such an unnerving sentence. That isn't comforting at all. Both Mion and I nodded deeply. First it, how do you decide who's the zombie? With rock, paper, scissors? Well, it is class time after all. Let's decide by answering questions. I'll ask the questions, and the one who's able to answer is the zombie. No idea which grade level they're coming from. Just pretend they're all wearing, like, surfer shorts. What does the Japanese word mean? Huh? I was bewildered by this sudden question. I repeated it. To answer. What's in English? It's 6. How about Kutsushita? Socks. What's the third last letter in the alphabet? It's X. I wouldn't have got any of these. What does Seibetsu mean? Of course I know what that is. Coco cut herself off before finishing the answer. See, it's quite a lewd question. You're an adult, aren't you? Of course you know what it is, right? I certainly do. Of course I know. And go ahead and say it. That, you know, that? What does that mean exactly? Looks like she's in trouble. Don't take her home. It's a crime. Didn't nip it in the bud. She really might have tried to take it home. Mion's pursuit was relentless, making Stoko stammer. Now then, go ahead and say it nice and lovely. What does that mean? I do know. That means a person, thing, idea, or event, which is previously indicated in context. Huh? Ah. All of us were a bit surprised by Rika's unexpected answer. See, well, it certainly is what that means. That could have been awkward. Wonder what I would have done in Stoko's position. Probably get ticked off and just blurt out, you know what, at the top of my lungs. Wouldn't want you as an enemy. Mion Sonozaki. Wiggles eyebrows. Goodness, you were born a girl. If you're a boy, you'd probably be a averted asshole. It appears I have no choice. Fortunately, I, Stoko Hoja, should assume the role of zombie. I shall eat everyone. Seems like she's raring to go. All I must do is count to 100, correct? Some jerks skip numbers while counting to 100, so you can start chasing after you solve this problem. Well, Keiichi, give her a simple one, okay? 1/5 of the cake, 1/6 of the cake, and 1/7 of the cake all on a plate. Oh no, there are no common denominators. Stoko grabbed a stick in a panic and began drawing a cake of fractions on the ground. Stoko, who can eat 1 cake in 60 seconds, eat all of them. How many cakes are left on the plate? Just as I finished giving the word problem, Mion shouted. Ready, go! On Mion's signal, everyone but Stoko scattered. Keiichi, that wasn't a problem at all, was it? Stoko had already lost the moment she started working out. She's eating it all, so of course there's nothing left on her plate. Everyone dashed off in a direction they thought was best. Knowing the lay of the land, they probably headed right to the best spots. Obviously I was at a disadvantage. At a time like this, it would have been more effective to go along with those training survival skills, like Mion, for example. The fact that I didn't realise at the start of the game probably hurt my chances. Glancing back at the school grounds, I saw Stoko just rising up to start. She was really, really mad. She got tripped up in such a dumb question. No word of a lie, my throat really hurts. So, I'm probably going to stop after the next, scene change. I stood at one of the corners of the school. I had clear sightlines in 2 directions and would probably have a good response time if any zombies started closing in. For the time being, I caught my breath and focused on what I was being trained to think during club activities yesterday. Think calmly, Keiichi Maebara. What was it? What would I do? Increasing my numbers would be the shortcut to victory. Then going after the weakest player first is the obvious plan of attack, meaning me. Now then, where could Keiichi possibly be? I shan't let you escape. But of course, what would be the best method to track me down? Footprints or smell or maybe some type of trail? If I could craftily hide my tracks, there'd be no trail for Stoko to follow. I was no detective. Would I even be able to do that kind of thing in an amateur game like this? Tomita Okamura. Have you seen Keiichi recently? What the heck? The zombies hunt their prey by asking nicely where they went. Tomita Nakamura pointed the location where I was hiding. After confirming she was heading this direction, I abandoned my position. It wasn't easy to hide myself with all those little kids running around as they pleased. It became more obvious that I was at disadvantage from not being familiar with the surroundings. That's how it was going to be, then, to confront this intelligent gathering zombie? Just counter it in a similar vein. Approach some girls playing with the ball. Sorry, but could you relay this message? Tell Stoko Hojo that her parents are at the gate, please. Message? Okay. Stop the girls as they turn to run off. Wait, don't go yet. Also, take this one to Mion Sonozaki. Tell her the teacher is calling her to the gate. I'm quite the schemer, if I do say so myself. Things so went well that Stoko and Mion would run into each other at the gate. Put me at disadvantage and more people were it, but this was Mion we were talking about. Figure out a way to escape. That was just fine, long as it bought me more time. That's for me, Mion, and Stoko. The palm of my hand. Having my fill of playing the con man, I just looked for a place to hide. Think about it logically, I'd only bought myself a scant amount of time. And it might even come back to bite me. Once it became apparent I started spreading false information through messengers, I could end up being the recipient of one of those messages. Stoko would probably ask the messages to help her look for me. That would mean there would be more zombies and participants in the game. A virus that was brought about by mischief could cause an epidemic. All my classmates would transform into zombies and would only be searching for me. Tactic might backfire horribly. Trembling at the thought of the impending dawn of the dead, I began searching for a safe house. I like this because I like this foreshadowing. Band shared by the incinerator behind the school. Climbing up to the roof, I held my breath. It wasn't a bad place to hold out. Only did I have good line of sight, but if necessary, I could jump off in 3 different directions to escape. It was getting rowdy down there. Lower grades were running around below the shed. Maebara isn't around. Is he over there? Nope. Where's Keiichi, I wonder? His dad is at the front gate. It was definitely a lie. The word gate, the same one I'd used, gave a hint of revenge. So Mion was behind this. Still keeping one step ahead of the game. Felt bad for my underclassmen, but they'd have to search until the school bell. Hey, do you know where Keiichi-san is at? His mum suddenly got really sick. A message from Maebara. They said his house caught fire and he needs to come to the gate. Jumbo jet fell on top of the Maebara residence. Police have come to question him. Anything goes now. Say he enjoys peeping into bathrooms. What? So true he's going around every night stealing panties? Who are they talking about? Heard he wears panties on his head and smells them and stuff. No way I would do that. Heard that class rep Rion was a victim too. Ah! This is your doing, Mion. Calm down, Keiichi. This is Mion's battle tactic to flush me out. Just hold on. My underclassmen thought about it logically. They would know it's all nonsense. But small kids don't think about things logically. To them, all of those things were true, so they all chuckled together while looking for me. I win, Mion. It's my victory. Wiping unwanted tears away, I felt intoxicated by my own victory. Did you hear? I heard that the new transfer student Maebara is a really perverted person. Coaster greeting Mion had too high a price. Ah. Oh, someone passed below. That's Reina and Rika. Rika, you still okay? I'm getting by somehow. Seems Mion is it as well. Mion? Couldn't be. Should become Ix in my little strategy? Confirmed that Mion was behind this relentless message war, then this wasn't good. Finally got away from Mion, but Stoko-chan, Stoko's searching around the pipe, so we should be safe here for a while. Upon hearing that, I breathed a sigh of relief. While Reina was slumped on the ground breathing heavily, Rika started creeping up to her. Rika doesn't normally make noise when she walks, but it's strange. Couldn't be. Whoa! Rika? What is it? What is it? Don't worry. I've never seen Rika smile so creepily. Why are you coming closer? Why? Rika isn't a zombie, is she? Don't be scared. I'll be sure to eat you gently. No way! Rika, no! Reina was pressed against the wall, and Rika lurched forward with both arms out, just like a zombie. Reina quaked with her back pushed up against the wall. It was quite a surreal scene of horror, like one of those zombie breakout videos you'd see. At that moment, Reina's eyes met mine. Keiichi, save me! Zombie Rika-chan turned 180 degrees, Exorcist style, and glared at me. Reminds me of a video I saw on Twitter recently. I see Kei-chan! Mion popped out from behind the cinder blocks around the garbage dump, also seeing where I was. Position was only advantageous when there was one zombie. Being surrounded was not good. Said you located Keiichi? Could tell that Stuka was rushing my way. Seemed that Rika had let Reina escape, and now she was bearing a flank in my direction. Come on down, Keiichi. The three zombies circled the shed, moaning curses. You guys are scary. Too scary. Wonder how Keiichi's guts take. Keiichi, I want you to become one of us. Someone please save me with hiccups. I saw Reina apologizing to me from across the schoolyard. An apology. Sorry. Leaving me for dead? Reina! I leapt off the roof out of fear, slipping as I landed. Stoko and Rika jumped on top of me, and after straddling me, they tickled me all over my body. Stop, stop! So this means Reina is still left. There isn't much time until the bell. Damn you, Reina. How dare you leave me for dead? Feelings of a zombie. I understood how vengeful ghost relinquent regrets felt. Sad, so sad, but Keiichi is one of us now. Felt like I'd been bitten by a vampire and was now one of their thralls. It was a strange feeling being welcomed over to the side that pursued me. Zombie tag is quite profound. This is no time to postulate. We must capture Reina. The principal is walking down the hall. The bell will ring soon. To devour Reina, I had been turned into a demon of vengeance, needed to use any means necessary. Except I wasn't just a zombie. I was a master of the night, a vampire. Using the same trick that tightened the noose around my own neck, I used my classmates to further my evil designs. Gathered up the lower grades from around the school grounds. One, listen. Reina's in big trouble. All of you, please look for Reina. It's a bigger problem than a jumbo jet crashing into your family's house. Oh yeah, it turned into that, hadn't it? I was so nonchalantly trying to avoid the blame. Yeah, it's not even in the same leagues as jumbo jets. It fell on Reina's house. It's a space colony. A space colony? Yeah, it's a really big disaster. Everything in a 100-kilometer radius was obliterated. That's only the prelude to this tragic tale. This is the beginning. The start of the war for independence by the propagandapality of Xeon. Lower grades were dumbfounded, rise like sources of grand turn of events. What will happen? Will the Terran Federation lose? Things go on like this, they will. Only one person can defeat the Red Comet. That person is Reina Ryugu. Lower grade students all gulped. Seemed I'd made them fully understand that the fight for Earth was lost without Reina. Now scattered comrades, we must find Reina. My comrades in the lower grades let out an enthusiastic cheer and dashed off in various directions around the school grounds. Listen. Just suspend your disbelief. Just all disbelief suspended. There was still one person who hadn't gone. But I thought even the Terran Federation's impulse wave diffusal cannon didn't work on the Comet Empire. Close, that's the right variety of those comics. The reason it didn't work was because they didn't know the white point. Of course, Reina knows the weak point all too well. Ryugu was amazing. Or Ms. Ryugu, I suppose. Satisfied with that, he also rushed off to look Reina. It does seem like there are some promising up-and-comers amongst the youngsters. Little Keiichi's abilities. This old man knows them better now. Didn't really feel like she was complimenting me, but whatever. Really though, how exceptional Keiichi. Looks quite promising. If we have this many, we can win. With this many, we will win. I was thinking that Keiichi would have been a better nominee for the initial zombie. Rika-chan's one still in a bit, but I'd let it slide for now. Not even Reina would be able to escape the entire class. As a result of everyone's thorough search, Reina was finally cornered in the back of the sports equipment shed. You're all scary. Keiichi too. So scary. Probably was scary being chased around by the entire student body. All the lower grades closed in on Reina, saying she's the only one who could save the world. What are you all saying? I can't control them, mech. Reina, how could you leave me for dead? You ready to pay for it? I'm sorry about that, Keiichi, but I didn't have a choice. Do not resist, let yourself be devoured. This is Griffin McElroy's game. Let's all be together. Now, Reina, say your prayers. Wahaha. Reina stumbled onto a mat, trembling with tears in her eyes. I closed in. So soon the situation was similar, particularly moral one, made my pulse gross. Stoko and Rika were both wiggling their fingers. Probably wanted to tickle Reina. Reina, wanting no part of what she knew was about to happen, went stiff with fear. Keiichi, you wouldn't do means like that everyone else, would you? I wonder. Now then, you ready? Okay, so long as it's Keiichi. I think she made us resign herself to her fate and made my heart skip a beat. I believe that Keiichi won't do horrible things to me. To be some sort of anti-zombie mantra. The second my sense of reason chimed in, the beast inside of me died instantly. There was the bell. Game over. Yay! I did it! I survived. Yay! Reina pranced around merrily as if the curse had been broken. So Daylight broke in the nick of time and the evil zombie army disintegrated into dust. So the heroine survived. Well, that's how it goes in the movies anyway. What are you postulating about? This is all because Keiichi was dawdling about. Punishment is required. Subdued by Stoko and Rika, and once again Seika's to death by 100 tickles. Forgive me. Eek. Then the award for surviving goes to Reina and Mion Sonozaki. Huh? Mion wasn't a zombie? Only pretend to be one. Say you need to deceive your allies before you can deceive the enemy, you know? Mion, you little... Yeah. Hurry up and change, alright? Don't be late for the next class. Let go of me, Stoko, Rika. Having had my fill of being terrified to my very core by clever activities, I solemnly swore I would have Mion crying for mercy next time. Or do I want to keep going? No, you know what? I'll keep going with the next scene. I think it'll be better if I can end at the end of a chapter. And after this, I can just grab a throat lozenge and go to bed, so... Arriving home, I quickly made preparations to head out once again. I'd agreed to meet with Raina to get Colonel Sanders out of that mountain of treasure from before. Mum, do we have work gloves? I need towels too. Aren't they in the shed out back? Towels are by the sink. Alright, now I was all ready. Looking at me, my mum stared quizzically. What's going on, Keiichi? Where are you headed in that get-up? If they come to dump again illegally, he'll be buried completely and it'll be impossible to dump you out. If that happens, Raina will undoubtedly go after the Colonel Sanders in front of the fried chicken place in town. Bit of excavating, so my classmate doesn't become a criminal. Well, don't be out too late. Mum returned to the kitchen with a puzzled expression still on her face. That's such a brilliant phrase. A bit of excavating so my classmate doesn't become a criminal. I love that. Cutting through the woods as a shortcut to the dam site, I ran into someone. An alarmingly buff photographer. Tamatake, probably taking pictures of wild birds again with that precious camera of his. Couldn't be all that he took pictures of was handsome young men in the twilight. Hey, long time no see. Keiichi, right? My due regards. I expelled the rude imagery from my head and greeted him without inciting anything. By the way, was that girl an acquaintance of yours? He was probably talking about Reina. Guessing by the way Tamatake was shaken up. What was that all about? She was walking around with an axe, and she was laughing with a huge smile across her face. That was Reina, without a doubt. Probably because she could take it home today, so she couldn't hide her excitement. I hid myself because I thought it might be dangerous. Should I call the cops to be safe? Well, it certainly would be quite a spectacle for a girl of her age to be roaming around with an axe. Tamatake's reaction was the epitome of logical. It's fine, just leave her be. She's just wandering around looking for more victims. Tamatake was alarmed by my crass response. Well, it's probably hard for normal people to understand Reina. I just tossed her once of BS out there. If you were to be killed by her, she'd probably be the one to do it. Try not to snoop too much around here. With a condescending smirk, I started off in the direction of the dam site where Reina was waiting. Before I got too far, Tamatake abruptly called out to me. Keiichi, is that meant to be a warning for an outsider like me? I didn't mean that seriously. I did try to make it obvious, but... I'll try my best to be careful. Leaving only these words behind, Tamatake turned around and left. Didn't really mean to call him an outsider. Wasn't really implying anything when I said that. It was only meant to be a joke, but it felt like I'd said something bad. Sure did, buddy. Keiichi, I was waiting for you. Let's try our best today. I understood what Tamatake was trying to say. Somebody gallivanting about while waving an axe around certainly would seem dangerous. Just cover the axe with something when you have it in public. It's not good to carry it around out in the open like that. It seems that I lost it, so there isn't one. Thinking about it, there really was no need to try and keep up appearances. Everyone in Hinamizawa probably already knew about Reina's eccentricities. Probably the only person who could carry an axe around Hinamizawa and not be considered suspicious. Ah well, let's finish this today. If we bust through this last beam, we should be able to pull him out. Got everything I need. Leave it to me. Okay. Took the axe from Reina. Got a crumb stuck in my throat from dinner all of a sudden. Made my way up the unstable slope. This is dangerous. Don't do this at home, kids. Just wait, Colonel Sanders. Keiichi will save you. Alright, get back. I'll finish this in one go. Solid thwack ran out through Hinamizawa, as if the job was being done by a lumberjack. How is it? Think you can do it? If it looks too hard, you don't have to strain yourself. If I can break through this, we'll be good. I have plenty of power today. I can do it. I'm not very good at distinguishing between voices, I do apologise, but this adversary is more formidable than I expected. First of all, I'd never used an axe before. During a school camping trip, I'd wanted to split the wood, but I lost at rock, paper, scissors and wasn't able to do it. Because the spot where I was standing was so unstable, I soon became tired. Decided to take a break. Raina had already spread out a tarp and laid down some tea and sweets. I'm fine, I'm almost there. I'll make sure Raina can give Colonel Sanders a goodnight kiss tonight. Yeah, thanks. Giving Colonel Sanders a goodnight kiss? Come to think of it, Raina, you're a transfer student too, right? Where'd you live before? I asked nonchalantly while drinking tea. I thought she lived here all her life. In Kanto. It wasn't as rural as it is out here, but it was still out in the countryside. Why'd you move here? To Hinamizawa, I mean. You know, this is pretty far out in the boonies. Why do you move here? Does it have to do with your dad's work? Dad said he wanted to move out to a studio. He'd been saying for a while that somewhere deep in the mountains like this would be perfect. Is your father an artist or something? He paints scenery. Seems that twice a year he opens a gallery for the stuff he does. When he started, his works were displayed in an industry plaza in Tokyo, but now they're exhibited in the Nakahara Messe. He's determined to have them displayed in the Waterfront International Exhibition Hall. That's amazing. Let me see them next time. I was too embarrassed to tell her that I didn't really know what kind of pictures my father painted. Well, eventually I would. I picked myself up while giving some vague answers. But you transferred in the middle of the semester, didn't you? Wasn't that a hassle? Not really. I was getting bored of the city anyway. I was trying to get answers from Raina, but I ended up being the one giving out all the answers. With a river-eye smile on my face, I grabbed the handle of an axe and headed back to the worksite. I do like the music in this game. It's very nice. The air grew colder as the sun slowly set. Higurashi began their song, as if to tell me to stop and head home for the day. Just a bit more. Today, I would end it. When I first started, I chatted with Raina as I worked, but now I didn't have that luxury. Oh yeah! You little... Damn it! I'd swung the axe countless times today, just like this. Contact. Shards of wood splintered. The assailants butchered the victim's body with hatchets and pickaxes. Recall that passage from the tabloid. One hit with something like this would smash someone's head in. Axes and pickaxes are not meant to be swung at people, ever. And that's an important lesson. One last swing, the beam cracked apart. Weight I put behind the axe certainly split through the beam, but smashed the statue soldier as well. Arm came off with a sickening sound. Clattered down noisily, stopping at my feet. Ah. What's the matter? You hurt? Sorry, the figure's arm, I broke it off. Oh, that's all? I thought Keiichi hurt himself. Probably had a really guilty look on my face. Raina said that without a hint of dismay as she smiled. We just need to tape it back on and put a coat over him. Nobody will even notice. I see. Let's pull him out then. Can you get that side? Okay. Seems I haven't been able to find one of the arms, you see. I laughed dryly at how pathetic I was for considering the arm flopping down rolling to my feet to be such a bad omen. Both Raina and Mio knew how sickening that incident was, so they pretended that they didn't know. I'd looked it up all by myself, and shamefully enough, I was scared. You're pathetic, Keiichi Maebara. Alright, Raina, let's do this in one go. Ready, and... Whoa! We did it, Keiichi, yay! The right time to give 3 cheers. That moment of 2 days' work bearing fruit. He who was brought to Hinamizawa covered in filth to meet his end. Said we were able to welcome him back. Pretty luck, Colonel Sanders. Your new master is a pretty decent person. Colonel Sanders, he really is cute. Didn't matter that he was dirty. Raina nuzzled him cheerfully. Was dead tired, but seeing as Raina's happy face made it all worth it. I'll help you carry it back. It'll be bad if it gets dark. Yeah, right. I really want to thank you, Keiichi. I won't forget this. Think real hard about what you'll do to repay me, okay? Whoa, I wonder what kind of repayment. I wonder. For now, I just hold back my evil cackle. We were ready to take it back to a house, but we couldn't go like this. Rolled the statue up in the top and lifted him. So Jack and Jill went down the hill, carrying a human-sized bag and an unsheathed axe. Prayed that we wouldn't run into Tomitaka-san. Saw us here and took a picture. We'll need to get rid of him. Is that meant to be a warning for an outsider like me? Something struck me as odd about the words Tomitake, unable to grasp my sense of humour had left behind. Souvenir tips. What kind of name is Raina? Raina's not here. Do you know where she is, Keiichi? Huh? She was just there, actually. Hey, Mion, where did Reina go? Reina? Didn't she go to the bathroom? She did say that she'd been having gut issues lately. I hadn't heard anything about that. Stucco, do you know where Reina went? Reina, you say? I just passed her in the hallway. Reina has class duty today. She's off to water the flower bed. Ah, it was Reina's turn for class duty. That's very much appreciated. Reina, Reina, Reina. Upon hearing it repeated, a thought came to mind. Sorry to say this about someone's name, but it was a weird name. It was like some foreigner's name. What kind of name is Reina, I wonder? What kind of country does her name use? Reina's her nickname. She has a proper name as well. What, really? I'm sure that Reina Ryugu was her full name. Well, I can understand you making that mistake, since we would have called her Reina. She even signs her name as Reina. It's like it's her real name at school. I wonder what her real name is. Let's ask her when she comes back. Sturko and Rika looked at each other. You don't need to ask her. We'll tell you what it is. It's the Rei from Ore and the Na from Nara. Her real name is Rei, like Reina, as opposed to Rena Ryugu. Reina, is it? So it's read out loud as Rena instead of Reina? It's a pretty interesting reading. No, that's not it. Reina is the correct way. Reina had told us that she wanted us to call her Reina, so we called her Reina. Keiichi, Reina is Reina, you know? Only strangers called her Reina. You get where this is going. I understood what Mion was saying. Didn't matter what her real name was, only what name we used between us. Reina Ryugu is Reina, just nobody other than that. So I was thinking, if I had a nickname, would you call me by that? If it's good, so what do you want to be called? Conman. Reina then came back into the classroom. One of the juniors near the door told Reina people were looking for her. What's this now? Who's looking for me, I wonder? I wonder. Seeing that, both Mion and I sneered. Bailiff, Ryugu doth show herself. Conman, you're quite sinister. What is this? What is this? Keiichi and Mion are evil bailiffs? A conman? Damn you, Rena Nosuke Ryugu. Today doth be when thou meetest thy maker. Have at thee. Wah! Sam, show them what for. Aye, aye, sir. I expect my fee to be paid to my Swiss bank account. Since it's come to this, we have no choice. We'll just have a grand battle with 5 people. When his fierce punches exploded in the proper timing to take out the seal, the evil that was Mion and myself was vanquished in the end. I do hope that Reina does go on a journey to make the world a better place. How about heading to Nagatacho? My destination is decided by where the cute stuff gathers. The toll of the bell signaled that break time was over. Come on, Keiichi, Mion. The tutor's coming. Took Reina's hand and stood up. It was just as the teacher had entered the classroom. Just 1 more hour. I know, man. Got to buckle down for 1 more. I love how dramatic the music is. Like when you go to the tip scene. Like this, it's so intense. But in a good way. But seeing that it is almost 11 o'clock and we have come to the end of chapter 4, I am going to end stream off here. I'm going to say thank you very much for watching. It is very, very, very much appreciated, and I hope that you enjoyed. I will be streaming Mass Effect Andromeda this Saturday. Hopefully we are finally going to be finishing off. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Then on Sunday, it will quite possibly be Destiny 2, where we will be continuing the Curse of Osiris story, or if I haven't finished Andromeda on Saturday, I'll be streaming Andromeda instead to get that done. Next Tuesday will be Final Fantasy XIV. Thank you, Lynn, I appreciate it. Where we will be playing through 5.2, which is very exciting. And then next Thursday, we'll be continuing on with Higurashi Nagnaku Koroni Onikakushi. But before all of that, there will be a surprise bonus stream tomorrow at 8 o'clock to 11 o'clock. I will be streaming Florence, which is a game from Mountains, and it's published by Annapurna Interactive, who published most of the games that I love. It's a mobile game that has been really highly recommended, and I'm really excited to play it. So I've got a bottle of wine, and I've got some chocolates that I got from the supermarket the other day. And we're going to have a chill Valentine's Day stream, and we're going to play Florence together. So, with that in mind, take care everybody, have a wonderful evening, enjoy yourselves, thank you for watching, and I shall see you guys on tomorrow. Yep, I'll see you on tomorrow.